Chapter 1005, Skyrocketing Power. Chapter 1005. Skyrocketing Power. Yi Mo made 9 spirit recovery pills in one cauldron. Of course, he didn't use all 3 drops of 10,000 year stalagmite marrow. He didn't use the pills he had made before, because he knew that hollow spirit state cultivators were very sensitive to pills. They could tell if the pill was made recently or some time ago. 3 spirit recovery pills. Su Jian, whose hands were shaking when he held the bottle Yi Mo gave him. He only needed 1, but he got 3. With his experience, he could tell these were freshly made as well. Yi Mo didn't mind giving a few extra pills to him. What he really cared about was whether Wang Yu's sect would do their best to help Mou. If he did this much, and Wang Yu's sect still didn't help, then they would be too selfish. "You're indeed a pill king." Su Jinhu looked at Yi Mo with even more shock. Such a young pill king. It was indeed the first time he had seen this. Even Cheng Yejuan, who won first place many times, was only a level 1 pill king. However, Yi Mo could concoct the spirit recovery pill at such a young age. Was he a level 3 pill king? Yi Mo smiled. The spirit recovery pill is indeed a heaven-grade level 3 pill, but that's only because it needs 10,000 year stalagmite marrow. Even a level 1 pill king would be able to concoct it. He didn't say what level pill king he was. Even though Wang Yu's sect was forming a relationship with him, that was just because they needed him. Who knows what would happen if they knew he was level 3 or level 4 pill king. So that's it. Su Jinhu breathed easy. He thought Yi Mo was at most a level 1 pill king and had a unique method of concoction. If Yi Mo was a level 3 pill king at such a young age, it would be too much to handle. Becoming a level 1 pill king at such an age was already very rare. Even if the Wang Yu sect leader's wife wasn't injured, Yi Mo was worth establishing a connection with. Ever since the Yang High Merchant Association incident, Mou was able to consolidate their position in Pei Hai. Some rather powerful solo cultivators came to join them, and Mou's business started to expand. In addition, Mou and the City Lord Estate joined together to hold 2 auctions that even had the Spirit Weaving Pill and Blue Wind Pill. These pills shocked the entirety of Pei Hai, and Mou's name spread rapidly. But Yi Mo didn't let Mou get involved in coastal business. He didn't want to cause trouble with the Ao Chang Merchant Association. The Spirit Weaving Pill and Blue Wind Pill were enough for Mou to establish their poison in Pei Hai. Only Yi Mo could concoct the Spirit Weaving Pill. Yi Mo didn't intend Mou to be the biggest merchant association in North Far State yet. If he had really wanted that, he wouldn't be selling the Spirit Weaving Pill and Blue Wind Pill. He would instead sell foundation establishment pills, cultivation increasing pills, and soul condensation pills. But Yi Mo knew that even in Pei Hai, if he hadn't reached a certain level of power, he shouldn't sell these pills openly. Even for the Spirit Recovery Pill, Yi Mo had to create this influence by drawing out the 5 drops of 10,000 year stalagmite marrow. Otherwise, there would also be trouble. Mou was on the right track now. Song Yangzhu, Yi Ling, and the others didn't spend much time conducting business. They spent more time on cultivation. They knew that Yi Mo was going to South Peace State soon. Song Yangzhu didn't want Yi Mo to go, but she knew what Yi Mo was thinking. Things here were settled, and Yi Mo was worried about Luo Ying and the others in South Peace State. If she wanted to go to South Peace State earlier, then she had to work hard to cultivate and reach Hollow Spirit State in a short time, and then it would be fine. Su Jingwen and Yi Ling also thought the same. Even Li Yuqian and Jin Shaoshan thought like this. The South Peace State's cultivation resources were clearly much better than those of North Far State. With the support of Yi Mo, a level 4 pill king, they would cultivate even faster. Su Jingwen wanted to sleep with Yi Mo after reaching Foundation Establishment State, but after learning that Yi Mo was going to South Peace State, she gave up on the thought. Her talent was astounding and her hidden spirit root had been activated. If she stayed a virgin, she would be cultivating even faster. She didn't know when Yemo would be back, so she had to reach Hollow Spirit State as quickly as possible so she could go to South Peace State and meet Yemo. Su Jingwen believed that with her talent, it wouldn't take long for her to reach Hollow Spirit State. MOU formed this cultivation trend. Everyone who had been in MOU from the beginning was cultivating like crazy. No one wanted to waste time. Mo went into solitary cultivation again. He had to reach Golden Course State Peak Stage before going to South Peace State. Mo just went into the Golden Page world and started to concoct heaven glory pills on the spirit range. Gradually, MOU made the Peihai region wealthier than the border region. Peihai City's population was increasing drastically due to the interstate teleportation formation. There was a level 8 spirit gathering formation on the side to support the operation of the teleportation formation. Even an 8-star sect might not have such a spirit gathering formation. Level 8 spirit gathering formations were beneficial to you even if you didn't go inside. Due to the rise of MOU, Peihai City became a lot more stable. MOU's prices were very fair, and they never abused the weak. Half a year later, Mo had completely spirit refined 3 Heaven Glory pills and reached Golden Core State Level 9. Mo thought he would be able to reach Golden Core State Peak Stage after 3 months. However, he underestimated his requirement for spirit chi even with such powerful pills and sitting on a spirit range. He still took half a year to go from Golden Core State Level 6 to Level 9. Mo came out and found that other than Song Yangzhu, who was waiting for him, Su Jingwen and Yi Ling were all in solitary cultivation. Li Yuqin never even came out at all. "Are you leaving?" Song Yangzhu saw Mo come out and looked a little sad. She didn't have much progress in cultivation and had only reached Golden Core State Level 2. Mo nodded and said, "Come take a walk with me." Mo and Song Yangzhu walked on the busy streets, but Song Yangzhu seemed to be in a bad mood. Jingwen and Yi Ling are both in solitary cultivation. Why didn't you do that as well? Mo broke the heavy atmosphere. Song Yangzhu said in a low voice, "I'm afraid if I went into solitary cultivation, I wouldn't be able to see you for the last time." Mo remained silent for a few moments before saying assuringly, "Yangzhu, don't worry. I won't stay in South Peace State for too long before coming back to bring you all there. There's a lot of things North Far State doesn't have, but who's to say South Peace State doesn't have them? Perhaps one day I will be able to find a flying ship that can even cross the Heartless Sea." Then Mo said, "Peihai City won't be a place we will be staying at for long. This is a branch of ours, but not our own city. Perhaps one day we will have our own city, MOU City." Chapter 1006. The Figure in the Depths of His Mind. Chapter 1006. The Figure in the Depths of His Mind. Mo, I suddenly miss Luoyu City. When can we go back to visit? Song Yangzhu asked. Mo was leaving Peihai. Without Mo, she felt very hollow. Mo grabbed Song Yangzhu's hand tightly. He suddenly realized what she meant. She wasn't missing Luoyu City, but missing him. He didn't dare to mention Yemo. Sometimes Song Yangzhu looked very strong, but she was actually more brittle than Song Yangzhu or Yiling Yangzhu. "I promise you I will be back by your side soon and take all of you with me. When our power is very high, perhaps we can go back to Luoyu City. I miss it as well," Mo said. Mo said that, but he knew it would be very hard to go back to Luoyu City. So what if he reached truth realization state? A level 9 teleportation formation could only teleport the distance of the Heartless Sea. Mo really suspected that the teleportation formation from small world to Luoyu wasn't made by cultivators of the cultivation realm. Yiling was here, but she still had a brother Yi Zifeng. She never said anything about him, but Mo could tell she missed him a lot, but just didn't want to say it. At this moment, she even thought of Yunbing. How were they now? And Wen Dong, has she realized her goals? How was Su Ping? Would that Dong Fong won't be doing anything? Huang Yinian should be able to stop him, right? Zheng Jingxia, Han Zaixin, Xiao Lei, Sister Yan, Yu Eru, Yu Miaodan, Shi Xiao. Countless familiar faces flashed across Yi Mo's eyes, and Yi Mo suddenly felt a little morose. After how many years would he be able to go back there? Would they still be there when he returned? Finally, an image cleared in his mind. It was Luo Xian. Yi Mo just realized that he hadn't been constantly thinking about her, but her figure had taken root in his mind. The girl who jumped off the 12th floor with him. Perhaps it was the sentence that she said that made Yi Mo remember her. I just didn't want Brother Yi to be disappointed again. That's all. Perhaps I owe her. Yi Mo murmured. He had got the Golden Page world because of her. She gave him 2 of the 3 golden pages. She even hid them from her 2 sisters. When Luo Xian fell of Shuangshi Cliff, he went searching for her countless times, but still couldn't find her. The Golden Page world's use for him was obvious. If it wasn't for it, he would have died so many times already. If it wasn't for the Golden Page world, he wouldn't have 3 birth chant and wouldn't be able to reach where he was today. His achievements today were closely related to Luo Xian. Yet after all that, he couldn't even find her body. Yi Mo sighed and feel even more despondent. Sensing this, Song Yongzhu leaned against Yi Mo and held his arm, saying, "Is there something you're worrying about?" He was about to leave. Yi Mo opened his eyes and cast the depressing thoughts aside. He grabbed Song Yongzhu and said, "Yongzhu, don't worry. I will come back as soon as I can to take you guys with me. Stay here and cultivate. Don't worry about me." This was the 3rd time he had said this to Song Yongzhu. Yi Mo made up his mind that he was going to build a place that belonged to him so that his friends and family could gather together without the need to roam around. I believe you. Song Yongzhu wanted Yi Mo to be happy when he left. "Yongzhu, I'm about to go. I'm not going to say goodbye to Jingwen and the rest. Tell them that I will be back soon." Yi Mo wanted to see them before he left, but he knew farewells were hard. It would affect their mood if he said goodbye now while they were working hard to cultivate. Song Yongzhu nodded and said softly, "Do you have enough spirit stones?" "Mo, you has a lot of spirit stones now. Do you need to take some?" Yi Mo shook his head. He had more than 100 million spirit stones. Mo, you only had about that amount as well, and this was due to the Yang High Merchant Association's compensation. The 2 didn't talk anymore, and just felt the warmth of each other's company. Although this was a very busy street, both of them felt the peace at the bottom of their hearts. Suddenly, some rustling disturbed their serenity. Yi Mo looked up and saw that 1 man and woman had been stopped by 3 Foundation Establishment State Tertiary Stage cultivators. The man and woman looked worried, not knowing how to deal with the situation. Yi Mo was shocked to find that he actually knew that woman. It was the Yu Yuyen he met in that town. She was a very calculative woman who had planned to use Yi Mo as a scapegoat, but Yi Mo didn't let her do so. "It's you?" Yi Mo. Yu Yuyen recognized Yi Mo and called out in joy, but then she remembered the nature of their relationship. However, that desire to get help was still there. At Yi Mo's status, he wouldn't hold a grudge against her, but it was impossible for him to help her. "Don't talk Yi Mo or Mo with me. I don't give a shit who he is. No matter who comes today, you have to spit out what you ate." The Foundation Establishment State Level 9 cultivator stared coldly at Yu Yuyen. Humph. Song Yongzhu wasn't happy that this Foundation Establishment State had attacked Yi Mo such a temper. The Foundation Establishment State cultivator heard this and turned around, glaring coldly at Yi Mo. But before he could finish what he was going to say, he was stopped by his friend. The friend pulled him to the side and bowed to Song Yongzhu. "Wan Bei, Zhu Changtian greets Mo Yu Song Qian Bei." That Foundation Establishment State heard the words MOU and his face changed. He thought of what he had just said, and his face went pale. You three are quite cocky. Who gave you the balls to start trouble in Pei Hai? Piss off now, or you will never need to leave again. Another cold voice sounded. Then, that voice bowed to Yi Mo. Pei Hai City Lord Estate Wang Di Greet Association Leader Yi. The three heard Wang Di's words, and their face turned as pale as corpse Cece. No matter what they did. Usually someone as big as Wang Di would never care, but today the manager, Wang of Pei Hai City, was intervening in such small matters. Just then, the three realized that the youth with Song Yangzhu was someone even manager Wang greeted with respect. No matter how dumb they were, they realized that this youth was the mysterious association leader of MOU. So it's Manager Wang, nice meeting you. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. He didn't really like this Manager Wang, but he was leaving, and MOU was still here. It was best not to offend the manager of Pei Hai City. It's an honor to see Association Leader Yi. How should I deal with these three? Wang Di knew that Yi Mo didn't offend him due to him being the city manager, but it was very easy for Yi Mo to kill him, as he had the support of Wang Yu's sect. Yi Mo shook his head. He really wasn't interested in these people. Hurry up and piss off, Wang Di yelled before he said to Yu Yen, Girl, if you need any help, just ask. He thought Yu Yen knew Yi Mo. So sucking up to Yu Yen was sucking up to Yi Mo. Yu Yen shook her head and walked up to Yi Mo. Thanks for helping. Sorry about before. Eventually, she didn't even know what she was saying and just turned to run. She didn't even call her friend. Manager Wang didn't know what was going on, so he didn't say anything. Yi Mo wasn't going to care about her as well. He bid farewell to Manager Wang and took Song Yangzhu to the teleportation formation. Chapter 1007. Arrive at South Peace State, but hard to get into Black Ice. Chapter 1007. Arrive at South Peace State, but hard to get into Black Ice, Golden Core State level? You were recommended? Yi Mo had just left the teleportation formation and was feeling a little dizzy when a voice asked these questions. Yi Mo noticed that there were 5 cultivators in front of him, and each one seemed very powerful. Even the weakest of them was stronger than Hollow Spirit State. Yi Mo could only tell that one was Body Condensation State Peak. The rest were beyond Body Condensation State. Yi Mo took in a cold breath. This was South Peace State. Such dense spirit chi, such powerful cultivators. Yes, Wanbei Yi Mo greets Qian Bais. Yi Mo felt he was weaker than an ant with this absolute difference in power. They only needed to lift a finger to kill him. No matter how powerful South Peace State was, they couldn't have this many high-level cultivators, right? He had just arrived and had already seen 4 guys above Body Condensation State. Spirit root seems very impure. How can someone like him be recommended? An old man looked at Yi Mo and shook his head. What spirit root are you? Why were you recommended? Another cultivator asked, just to confirm. He didn't even have the interest to test Yi Mo. Yi Mo realized that South Peace State wasn't a place where there was an abundance of Body Condensation State cultivators. These people were here to see if the arrival was a genius disciple that had been teleported here. If it was, then they might take him away. Yi Mo didn't want to go to those sects and become a core disciple, so he immediately said respectfully, I have a fire and would dual spirit root, but because I had a good relationship with the disaster transformation state Qianbei, I was able to get his recommendation. Indeed, it must be so. I knew that those North Far State disaster transformation state cultivators would use their authority for private needs. This one spot is going to waste. How many spirit crystals and materials have been lost? The cultivator asking this was clearly not welcoming of Yi Mo's arrival. Brother Han, these situations are unavoidable. It's just one spot, plus the people sent over from North Far State before were pretty much all genius disciples. The youngest cultivator came out and said. Then he said to Yi Mo, you can go. You have double spirit root. You have no right to enter a 9-star sect. North Far State is not the same as South Peace State. Although it's not easy to reach Golden Core State at your age. Here you're on your own. Yi Mo immediately saluted with his fists and thanked them a few times before leaving. Qi Liang Dao, friend. How come I feel this little guy isn't quite what he seems? The cultivator, who had spoken first, said. What's wrong with him? Is it because he's at Golden Core State at this age? It happens a lot in North Far State. Many wealthy merchant association would cultivate a genius and use a lot of pills, but they don't consider the pill poison. I don't need to look to know that kid has too much pill poison in his body. He would be lucky to even reach hollow spirit state, answered another cauldron-filling state cultivator. He's quick to run. I'm afraid he might not even get into hollow spirit state. Even if he doesn't have any pill poison, his spirit root has decided that he can't reach higher cultivation states, another cultivator said. At this moment, Yi Mo was already thousands of kilometers away. He would definitely be one of the cultivators with the least pill poison. Even those cultivators who didn't concoct pills knew the threat of pill poison. They would try to refine pill poison or remedy pills every once in a while. He was a pill king, and he knew better than anyone. Not everyone had the 10,000-year stalagmite marrow, while he had at least half a bucket. Only after Yi Mo had left their spirit sense range did he dare to land. He found that this was also a cultivation city, but it was more than 10 times larger than Peihai City. Yi Mo asked a few cultivators and learned that although this place was in South Peace State, it was still hundreds of thousands of kilometers from South Peace City. This place was called Mo High City. It was surrounded by the sea, but had a very large area. The teleportation formation from North Far State to South Peace State was built here. There were quite a lot of people in the city. Yi Mo found that there were quite a few hollow spirit state cultivators. As for those in the nascent soul state and golden core state, they were everywhere. Reaching golden core state peak stage at Yi Mo's age was all too ordinary. Yi Mo walked into a shop and wanted to ask someone about the Black Ice sect when an attendant with a smiling face greeted him, saying, "Friend, what do you need?" The shop wasn't small, and there were already a few golden core state and nascent soul state cultivators window shopping. I want to ask where the Black Ice sect is? Yi Mo asked. You want to ask about Black Ice sect? The attendant was dazed. Everyone knew that Black Ice sect was at Black Ice Mountain. Was there a need to ask? Yi Mo saw this attendant's surprise and quickly explained, "It's like this. I have a friend there, and I want to go visit him, but I've never been to Black Ice sect, so I'm just asking, you still want to go to Black Ice sect?" The attendant was even more shocked. Ha ha. People started laughing and turned to look at Yi Mo, as though he was much interesting than the objects inside the display glasses. Did I hear right? You want to go to Black Ice sect to find your friend? A golden core state tertiary stage cultivator asked in a strange tone. Yi Mo frowned. Why was it so funny? The attendant clearly had a good education and didn't scorn Yi Mo like everyone else. He said politely to Yi Mo, "Friend, Black Ice sect is 9-star sect. People aren't allowed to step foot within a 10,000-kilometer radius. Even if you know someone at Black Ice sect, they need to come find you. You can't go find them. Unless you have the handwritten document of the sect or a truth realization state, Qianbei's item. You won't be able to go visit Black Ice Mountain." Yi Mo was dazed. He just realized how ridiculous his idea was. He thought he would be able to see Luoying as soon as he came to Black Ice sect. Now, he found out he couldn't even get within 10,000 kilometers of her. Seeing Yi Mo in a daze, the waiter knew that Yi Mo wasn't here to buy anything and shook his head before turning to leave. Yi Mo quickly pulled him and asked, "Are all the 9-star sects this strict?" The waiter saw Yi Mo's desperate look and sighed. Not only 9-star sects, but even the 7- and 8-star sects are also very strict. If you had arrived half a year earlier, you might have had a way. What way? Yi Mo asked. The waiter said there was a South Peace City cultivator social at South Peace City. Many core disciples of sects came there to converse about cultivation. Black Ice sect people went too, If you were lucky and met a Black Ice sect disciple who was easy to talk to, he might help you pass on a message. Yemo thought and immediately took out 100 top-grade spirit stones and gave them to the waiter. May I ask when that social will be held next? The waiter quickly replied, once every 3 years. The next one will be in 2.5 years, still here in South Peace City. Then, the waiter gave Yemo a jade slip. I'll give you a map of South Peace State map. It has everything detailed. Yemo took the map and murmured, I still need to wait 2.5 years? No, that won't do. The waiter shook his head and left. Chapter 1008. Way to Become Famous. Chapter 1008. Way to become famous. Yemo didn't want to wait for 2.5 years, but what could he do to let Luoying know that he was here? South Peace State was so big that if she only stayed at Black Ice Mountain, how could she know about him? Yemo looked at the map and decided to go to South Peace City first. That was the biggest cultivation city in South Peace State and was also the place with the most up-to-date information. No matter what happened, the news would always reach there first. If he wanted to go to Black Ice Sect, he would have to go to South Peace City first. Yemo walked around Mo High City and wasn't as clueless as he was when he first came. At least he knew that there was no way to fly directly from Mo High City to South Peace City. It wasn't allowed. As for the reason, Yemo didn't need to ask to know. It was for money. There was a mutual agreement that to travel from South Peace City to Mo High City, one had to take the teleportation formation or the big commercial ship. The travel fare for both was very high. Even so, countless cultivators were going between South Peace City and Mo High City because this place was a bit like Pei High City and was close to the Heartless Sea. People came here to try to strike it rich or find cultivation resources. There were a lot of sects in the South Peace State, and there were countless sects below 6-star. It wasn't easy to join a 7-star sect. One needed to be very talented. This created a lot of solo cultivators who also need resources for cultivation. The place with the most cultivation resource was the Heartless Sea, so Mo High City became a place they had to visit. Yemo walked around the city and knew that although the spirit chi here was very abundant, the cultivators here weren't wealthy. This was because pills and magic artifacts here were scarily expensive. Most of the cultivators used their spirit stones to earn cultivation resources. Friend, a voice stopped him when he wanted to go take the teleportation formation to South Peace City. What is it? Yemo looked at this cultivator with vigilance. This cultivator was also Golden Core State Peak Stage, but he was vigilant because this cultivator was also in the shop when he was asking that attendant questions. The Golden Core State cultivator saluted with his fists and said, Friend, you've probably seen me just then at that pill shop. Yemo nodded but didn't say anything. The cultivator said with fervor, I heard you wanted to go to the Black Ice Sect. Although it's a 9-star sect, it's not impossible to go there. Do you have a way? Yemo asked. The cultivator smiled upon seeing Yemo's reaction. That's right, I have a way, but I want to ask what power level your friend is. Yemo hesitated and thought that with Luo Ying's talent, she should be in Golden Core State now. With this in mind, he said, probably Golden Core State level. Then it's easy. If you're sure your friend is in Golden Core State, I have a way. If you don't mind, we can find a quiet place to talk. Fu Rong clapped his hand and said. Yemo looked at his cultivator with confusion. This was the first time he was here, so this guy didn't know who he was. He didn't need to lie. Plus, even if this guy was lying, he wasn't afraid of a mere Golden Core State Peak Stage. Okay, Yemo agreed. The cultivator showed a satisfied smile and said, Friend, please follow me. The cultivator took Yemo, twisting and turning before arriving at a small yard. This place only had a simple defense formation, but no spirit gathering formation. It was just a temporary residence. Yemo didn't go in and scanned the area, discovering that there were 2 Golden Core State Level 9 cultivators. Before Yemo said anything, the Golden Core State Peak stage said. There are already 2 friends inside. Let's go talk together. Yi Mo nodded and entered. That Golden Core State Peak stage looked at Yi Mo with a little surprise. He thought Yi Mo would have some concerns, but he came in without saying anything. The 2 Golden Core State cultivators inside both got up upon seeing Yi Mo. The Golden Core State Peak stage smiled and said, "Let me introduce you. I'm Fu Rong, and these are Chen Yuli and Zheng Yidao." Yi Mo noticed that the shorter cultivator was called Cheng Yuli, and Zheng Yidao was a white-skinned, feminine man. "I'm Yi Mo, a solo cultivator." Yi Mo saluted with his fists then. Yi Mo looked at Fu Rong. He wasn't here to meet other Golden Core states. He was here to go to Black Ice Sect. Fu Rong knew Yi Mo's intention and let them sit down first. Then he said to Yi Mo, "Brother, you probably came from the seas, right? I chased after you for a while after seeing you ask for information." Yi Mo had some extra vigilance. It seemed this Fu Rong had been following him for a while and pulled him over afterward. He was in such a rush asking people questions that he hadn't noticed Fu Rong following him. Thinking about this, Yi Mo nodded. "Yes, I've been in cultivation, so I'm not familiar with a lot of things. I have a friend at Black Ice Sect. I've also just heard about this from other people." Fu Rong paused and looked at Yi Mo before saying, "You probably know about the South Peace State trial tablets, right?" Yi Mo nodded. "Yes, I know." Yi Mo knew this from his experience at Desert Plain Herb Valley. Luckily he knew about this. Otherwise, people might think he wasn't even from South Peace State. Fu Rong expected this answer. Fu Rong smiled and said, "Any South Peace State cultivator would know about the South Peace State trial tablets. Almost all South Peace State Golden Core State cultivators have memorized the names on the Golden Core State trial tablets. They are constantly thinking about when their names will be inscribed on them too. Think about it. If your friend is Golden Core State level and you left your name on the trial tablets." Yi Mo understood what Fu Rong meant. If he left his name on the trial tablet and Luo Ying saw, she would come to look for him, for sure. If it was someone else, Yi Mo would think this idea wasn't bad, but when it came to Luo Ying, Yi Mo didn't have any confidence at all. Luo Ying wouldn't be as interested in the trial tablets as Fu Rong thought, but he could still try this method. Thinking about this, Yi Mo felt a little embarrassed about his previous suspicions and saluted with his fists. "Thank you, Brother Fu. I'll go to South Peace City and leave my name on there now." The 3 looked at Yi Mo in shock and asked uncertainly, "Did you think you can go leave your name there just by going there? Is it not like that?" Yi Mo asked. The short cultivator, who hadn't spoken now, said, "Brother Yi, you probably don't know much about the trial tablets. They're in the trial tablet square, but there aren't a lot of people going there to try each year. The main reason is that each tablet can only fit 300 names. Many people who tried saw that their names wouldn't show at all. That's because they're not strong enough. So if you can't be among the top 300 cultivators in your level, then you can't." Chapter 1009. One Core Kills 2. Chapter 1009. One Core Kills 2, although he knew what they meant. Yi Mo still saluted with his fists. "Thank you, Brother Chen, but I still want to try. If not, then I'll think of another way." The white-skinned cultivator suddenly sneered. "Do you know what it means to be among the top 300 in all of the Golden Core State cultivators in South Peace State? There are countless Golden Core State cultivators in South Peace State, but only those few people can leave their names on there. What right do you have to say you can leave your name on there? This isn't even arrogance anymore." Fu Rong saw this and quickly came to ease the tension. "Brother Yi, Dao Friend Zheng is a straightforward person, don't mind him. But that trial tablet really is hard to get on. If you go there, you will know. Each time someone tries to write their name, there are a lot of people watching. If your name goes up, you will become famous no matter what rank you are, but if your name can't even get on there, you will just be a joke. Some people lose faith in themselves due to this and never progress one bit again. Yi Mo smiled and didn't answer Fu Rong's words. He asked, since Brother Fu knows how hard it is to get on, then why did you bring me here? Fu Rong smiled. Other people don't have a way to get up there, but I do. Yi Mo sneered. Then, in that case, you must be an elite on the trial tablet. Fu Rong now displayed an awkward look. I don't have the ability to go up. Yi Mo sneered. You don't have a way to go up, but you have a way for me to go up. That's ridiculous. Fu Rong quickly said, Brother Yi, don't doubt me because I only can make you go up for a month. Do you know about the Tan Hua pill? Yi Mo shook his head. Fu Rong quickly continued. 30 years ago, there were 2 golden core state cultivators who were very good friends. Both were solo cultivators. One day, they went to explore the ruins of a cultivation home left behind by a Qianbei and found a Chao Huan pill there. Both of them were at the golden core state peak stage, and it was important for both of them. However, there was just one pill. Yi Mo knew he could get into the trial tablet without any problem, but he still wanted to know the ending of the story. Then how did they divide it? Cheng Yuving asked. Fu Rong said, both were good friends and wanted to give the Chao Huan pill to the other, but both of them didn't want it. This news became known by another cultivator. This cultivator was a female cultivator and also golden core state level. She knew the 2 as well. When the 3 were talking together and the topic was brought to the Chao Huan pill, the female cultivator said she had a good way to solve the problem. The 2 asked her what the way was. The female cultivator said to leave it to the person with the better talent. She suggested for the 2 to leave their names on the trial tablet. Whoever was ranked higher would have the pill. Both of them were unable to leave their names on the tablet, but she got close to one of the guys. Soon, she became pregnant. At one point, the woman told her man that when they left this world, their child would be unable to survive in this harsh cultivation realm. She told the man that one of them had to stay behind to look after their child. She told her man many times to ask his friend for the Chao Huan pill to give to their child, but they already had made an arrangement. The woman ushered the man to go try. If it didn't work, then never mind. Did he go try? Cheng Yubing asked. Fu Rong nodded and said, yes, that female cultivator took the man to the trial grounds. When the man was about to try, the female cultivator suddenly took out a pill and gave it to the man, saying that the pill could increase his power a little. The man didn't mind and ate it. Yi Mo interrupted. That pill was the Tan Hua pill, right? If I'm not wrong, the man ate it and left his name on the tablet. Fu Rong sighed and nodded. Yes, after the man ate it, he felt his power had increased by more than a level, and he left his name on the tablet. But as soon as he left his name, the power he had just gained disappeared. Eating the pill can indeed burst your cultivation essence and spirit sense, increasing them by more than 1-fold in a short time. It was a happy ending. The man left his name on the tablet, and the Chao Huan pill belonged to him. Cheng Yugen clapped. Fu Rong shook his head. You're right, he got the pill, and his friend was happy too. But his name disappeared after a month. When his friend saw this, he was shocked and thought something happened to the man. He quickly came to find the man, but found that he was fine. He asked what happened. Cheng Yubing asked, did he tell the truth? Fu Rong shook his head. No, he felt guilty that he had left his name by eating the pill and said he didn't know what happened. The friend asked around and found out that his friend had eaten a pill that amplified his power to leave his name behind. His friend was very disappointed. He didn't care about losing a Chao Huan pill, but he cared about losing his best friend. After this, he became depressed and died due to a mistake in his cultivation. The man heard of this and also became depressed. He left all his belongings to the woman and committed suicide. The news of Tan Huan pill spread out and everyone tried it. It had no side effect, but it had a very limited time of use. Everyone fell silent. 2 very good friends had died due to this misunderstanding. What a pity! If you want to leave your name on the Golden Core State trial tablet, then the Tanhua pill is the best option. It's only for 1 month, but that's enough for you. 1 month's time is enough for your name to spread all over South Peace State. I believe your friend would know you were here after seeing your name. Yemo didn't need this at all, of course. He was certain he could get into the top 300, but Yemo felt the story wasn't as simple as it seemed. He asked, what about that female cultivator? Fu Rong sighed. After the man died, the female cultivator was also very sad. She cried for a whole day next to her man before burying his friend with him. After that, there was no more news of her. She probably left alone. Yi Mo sneered. He believed many people could see the problem like him. The woman knew the two friends well, and knew of their characters. Since she knew this, she shouldn't have used the Tanhua pill. Also, her dual cultivation with the man was too perfectly timed. If his guess was right, this woman's schemes were too scary. Seeing that Yi Mo didn't ask about the Tanhua pill, Fu Rong could only say, only the level 8 spirit pill master Feng Honest in South Peace City can concoct this pill. Feng Honest, as his name suggests, is very honest, but the only bad habit he has is that you must have the beast core of a level 5 9-foot sea snake for him to concoct pills for you. Last time I ventured into the deep sea, I found an island with a stealth formation. There was a defense formation around it. I couldn't break it myself, so I want to find a few friends to go with me. For Golden Core State, level 9 cultivators should be enough. We make 4. If Brother Yi wants to go, you can have a share of the things inside, and I will help Brother Yi find the 9-foot sea snake and get the beast core for you. Yi Mo smiled. He wasn't interested in going out to the sea, nor eating the Tanhua pill. Chapter 1010. Reaching an Agreement. Chapter 1010. Reaching an Agreement. Thank you for your goodwill, Brother Fu. I still want to try to get my name on the tablet. If that doesn't work, then I will try another way, Yi Mo said apologetically to Fu Rong. Seeing that Yi Mo didn't want to go, Fu Rong began to worry. The reason he chose Yi Mo was because he saw that Yi Mo didn't have any connections here. If something happened to him, Fu Rong didn't need to be responsible at all. He knew that the place he was going this time was rather dangerous. He needed a pawn, and Yi Mo was the best choice. When Fu Rong saw that Yi Mo really wanted to leave, he could only say, Brother Yi, I won't hide it from you. I also have some knowledge about formations. The stealth formation has defensive capabilities. It's already a level 5 formation, and I also know who set up that formation. It was set up by a hollow spirit state forgery grandmaster called Yu Baishan 150 years ago. That stealth formation is set up by Yu Baishan, that level 3 forgery grandmaster, who is renowned in South Peace City. Yu Baishan? Cheng Yugen was very surprised. Sheng Yidao was also shaken. Clearly he knew of Yu Baishan as well. Yi Mo saw their faces and knew that this Yu Baishan probably was no ordinary person. Yi Mo only knew how to make some basic magic artifacts, but he knew that the status of forgery masters was no lower than that of pill masters. Those who could only make magic artifacts were forgery masters. Those who could forge spirit artifact were called forgery great masters. Those who could make cultivation artifacts were forgery grandmasters. As for immortal artifacts, they couldn't be made in the cultivation realm. There was a huge difference between the different grades of forgery masters. In the ancient times, they were divided into top, middle, and low grade. But now, they were divided into 9 levels like the pill masters. A level 1 forgery master could only make low-grade magic artifacts, while a level 9 forgery master could make extreme-grade magic artifacts. The difference was like night and day. Yu Baishan was a level 3 forgery grandmaster, meaning that he could make low-grade cultivation artifacts. This was rather astounding. Comparatively, forgery masters were rarer than pill masters, making it a lucrative profession. Didn't you Baixing Qian Bei disappear 150 years ago? His shop in South Bank City isn't even there anymore. How did you recognize that the stealth formation was set up by him? Zheng Yidao asked this question, but there was already excitement in his eyes. Even an ordinary hollow spirit state ruin was a huge fortune for golden core state cultivators, much less one of some renowned forgery grandmaster like Yu Baixing. Fu Rong nodded seriously. That's right, Yu Baixing Qianbei was very talented. He was also a level 5 formation master. I've studied his formations before, and I'm sure that this formation was set up by him. He bought a Huang Star rock from an auction once. Quite a lot of people wanted that rock. After Yu Baixing left the auction, he was attacked. But ever since then, he hasn't been sighted in the cultivation realm. On one occasion, I found that formation, but I'm not sure if the things inside belong to him. Since it's Yu Baixing Qianbei's ruin, why did you only tell us now? Zheng Yidao said, unhappily like a bickering woman. Fu Rong sighed. I didn't want to hide it from you. I was going to tell you before we left. I'm friends with you guys, and this is not the first time we have worked together. How can I trick you? We can't break that level 5 formation just by ourselves, and if we forcefully blast it open, it might damage the things inside. So I've thought of a way, but it requires 4 golden core state tertiary stage cultivators. He then looked at Yimo. If it wasn't for the age of the formation causing it to weaken, I still wouldn't have a way to break it. That defense formation isn't something us 4 golden core state cultivators can break open. Yimo didn't listen to what Fu Rong was saying anymore. The words Huang Star Rock were all that rung in his ears. His forgery skills weren't great. He was at most a level 7 forgery master. If he was lucky, he might be able to make an extreme grade magic artifact, but most of the time, he could only make top grade magic artifacts. But that didn't mean he didn't have knowledge. Huang Star Rock was level 9 forgery material. It could be used to make extreme grade Dao artifacts. Most importantly, it was suitable to make flying magic artifacts. With the 9 feather golden purchase feather he already had, if he got the Huang Space Rock, then he would be able to get an extreme grade flying Dao artifact if he found a forgery grandmaster. It might even reach fake, immortal artifact level. If that was the case, then wouldn't he be able to go to North Far State whenever he wanted? His golden page world could only hold people after he had reached truth realization state, but there were no such limits when it came to extreme grade Dao artifacts. Extreme grade Dao artifacts were so precious that they were the treasures of 9 star sections. Plus, it was an extreme grade flying Dao artifact. Fu Rong saw that Yimo's face was strange, but that he didn't talk. He turned around and said to Yimo, Brother Yi, if you're willing to go together, I'm willing to give you 20% of Yu Baixing Qianbei's ruin. Then he looked at Cheng Yuging and Zheng Yidao and said, because I discovered the ruin, I will take 30%, you 3 can take 20% each. The remaining 10% can be given to the person who works the hardest. Do you have any objections? Yimo suddenly said, I only want 10%, but the Huang Star Rock belongs to me. Yimo's words made everyone else fall into silence, but Fu Rong quickly said, I agree, but if there's no Huang Star Rock, you still get only 10%. What about you two? I agree, Cheng Yuging replied immediately. Zheng Yidao also nodded. Yimo knew what the 3 were thinking. The Huang Star Rock was rare, but the problem was it was unknown if it was still there. Yu Baixing was a forgery grandmaster. If he already used it then, Yimo had just given away 10% of the loot for free. Secondly, the Huang Star Rock would just cause them trouble. Even Yu Baixing was hunted for it. It was good material. But who could find a forgery grandmaster to make something for them? Who dared to do so? Did they not want to live? If the Huang Star Rock wasn't forged into something, it was useless. So instead of going for something as distant as the Huang Star Rock, they might as well take something more practical and reach nascent soul state earlier. As for helping Yi Mo get the 9-foot sea snake's beast core, Yi Mo didn't mention it, and Fu Rong pretended to forget about it too. However, Yi Mo had some vigilance. It was the first time he met Fu Rong, but he took him to find such a wealthy ruin. He didn't feel safe. Plus, Fu Rong seemed very familiar with the other two. Meanwhile, he was by himself. But Yi Mo didn't mind. Even if the three joined forces, he wasn't scared. Now that they had settled on an agreement, they moved out immediately. When Yi Mo released the flying ship, they were surprised, but not overly so. Yi Mo found that the three all used middle-grade spirit flying ships. Fu Rong's flying ship seemed on par with his in quality. Chapter 10:11 Truth and Lies. Chapter 10:11 Truth and Lies, Brother Yi. This top-grade flying spirit artifact costs at least 200k top-grade spirit stones, right? It's pretty, but the defense capabilities are a bit weak. Cheng Yugeng smiled and said, 200k top-grade spirit stones? Yi Mo looked at Cheng Yugeng in shock, thinking that would only suffice enough to let him touch it. He had used a spirit crystal and a crisp green vine to trade for this. That was at least 1 million spirit stones. But Yi Mo knew that he bought this ship overpriced. Fu Rong looked at the ship and nodded. Brother Ye's flying ship should be 200k spirit stones, but it had a simple defense formation added. Yi Mo nodded his head speechlessly. You're right. This flying ship was indeed 200k spirit stones. How much did you buy yours for? Fu Rong replied happily. This flying ship was worth 120k top-grade spirit stones, but I got it for 100k spirit stones. Cheng Yugeng sighed. Forgery masters are really big earners. Any single spirit artifact is worth 100k spirit stones. I have to work for my whole life to earn that amount. I'd be able to prepare for nascent soul state if I can get 500k spirit stones from you Baixing Qianbei's ruins. If I can find a low-grade Dao artifact, then I would be too happy. Yi Mo was dubious, but he didn't ask more. He realized that the top-grade spirit artifacts here seemed much cheaper than in North Far State, but earning spirit stones was still as difficult. The only thing was that the spirit chi here was much denser. No wonder they only seemed a little surprised when they saw his top-grade flying spirit artifact. He thought they were wealthy when he had seen their middle-grade flying spirit artifact, but that didn't seem to be the case now. Fu Rong and them didn't seem to be very wealthy amongst Golden Core State cultivators, but they were still much better off than the North Far State cultivators. To be honest, Yi Mo really didn't care about 500k spirit stones. He had nearly 100 million spirit stones in his small world. Fu Rong had said their location was in the deep sea, but it wasn't just ordinarily deep. They flew for a week after leaving the city, before finally coming to a coral island with a circumference of 1,000 kilometers. The island was filled with strangely shaped corals, and one could occasionally see a few low-level spirit herbs. The spirit chi here wasn't abundant. Why would a hollow spirit state forgery grand master choose to build a cultivation home here? Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out and didn't find any stealth formation here. Yi Mo's spirit sense was already stronger than ordinary cultivators, plus he had cultivated his spirit sense cultivation methods. So his spirit sense could cover the entire island now. He didn't find the stealth or defense formations Fu Rong said were here, but he didn't say anything. He just followed Fu Rong. Cheng Yugeng and Zheng Yidao didn't seem to be suspicious and just followed Fu Rong closely. Yi Mo was the last in the line. Fu Rong took them and stopped by the island beach. Is it here? Cheng Yugeng asked. Fu Rong nodded. That's right, it's here. Yi Mo felt strange. He was a level 5 formation master, but didn't see any stealth formations here. Fu Rong suddenly took out a formation flag, and after it landed on the beach, spirit chi waves started appearing. It's here, I feel the formation, Cheng Yugeng said in joy. Yi Mo was shaken. There were clearly no formations here before, But after Fu Rong threw out a flag, a formation appeared. His means were better than his. The formation flag Fu Rong threw down was probably the activation formation flag for the stealth formation. Wait, Yemo suddenly remembered that Fu Rong said he was experienced in some formations. Fu Rong was obviously just a formation master. He wasn't yet a formation great master. How could he easily find a level 5 stealth formation that even he couldn't find? There might be people better than him, but Yi Mo didn't think lowly of himself. He didn't believe that this Fu Rong was better than him. How come Fu Rong could find something he couldn't? Yi Mo wasn't afraid of the three ganging up on him before, but now Fu Rong's extra means made him a little more careful. He asked cautiously, "Brother Fu, I also know a little about formations. This stealth formation didn't have any marks. I believe even a level 4 formation master wouldn't be able to find it. So, how did Brother Fu find it?" Clearly, Yi Mo was suspicious of Fu Rong. After Yi Mo asked this, Cheng Yuging and Zheng Yidao didn't speak, but clearly also wanted to know how Fu Rong found it. Fu Rong could see that he had to answer this question. He thought for a while and said, "A year ago, I came here and found two people fighting. There was one woman who was Golden Core State Level 8, and another man who was Golden Core State Level 9. I wasn't yet a Golden Core State peak stage at that time, so I hid in the corner. I found that the woman was about to lose. She seemed familiar, so I planned to help, but that woman was very tough and decided to self-destruct her Golden Core to take the man down with her. I was too late, and when I searched the two's remains, I realized that the woman was Yu Baixing Qianbei's daughter. No wonder she was familiar. She looked like Yu Baixing Qianbei." "Brother Fu, you know about this formation because of her?" Cheng Yuving asked. Fu Rong nodded. "That's right, the formation flag I threw out was left behind by Yu Baixing Qianbei. Only his formation flag could reveal the stealth formation. That formation flag itself is a magic artifact. When I first found this stealth formation, I wasn't able to break it. I've been studying formations ever since then until I finally thought of the way to break it with 4 Golden Core State cultivators a year ago." Yi Mo sneered. He wasn't old, but he had seen a lot of these schemes. Fu Rong's explanation seemed flawless, but he could hear the problem. Yi Mo wouldn't believe at all that he only found a way after studying formations for a year. Even with his 3-birth chant, he had to study a few years of formation in the small world to become an ordinary formation master. What Yi Mo suspected was that the cultivator who fought Yu Baixing's daughter was Fu Rong, who had found that daughter searching for Yu Baixing's ruins. He wanted to kill the daughter and take the ruin for himself. The daughter wasn't going to let him have it, and self-destructed her golden core. Fu Rong was also greatly injured, so he used this year to recover. This was just his guess, of course, and Yi Mo didn't know exactly what went on. "No wonder I haven't got any news from Brother Fu for a year," Cheng Yujin nodded. "Although the stealth formation is revealed, it's still not deciphered yet. Only once we solve it can we expose the defense formation." "Brother Fu, tell us how to solve it," Zheng Yidao said. Fu Rong nodded. "I can solve the stealth formation. When I attack it with me using full power. We will be able to unlock it in half a day. The hard part is the defense formation, but I believe I have a way." Fu Rong's words reminded Yi Mo of Old Man Luo in that 6-star hall who used others' essence blood and cultivation essence to solve the formation. If Fu Rong dared to use this, he would kill him immediately. Chapter 10:12 Breaking the Formation Together. Chapter 10:12 Breaking the Formation Together. When Fu Rong started breaking the formation, Yi Mo realized that he hadn't lied. He really had studied this formation well. It was only half a day before the formation disappeared, revealing a defense formation. But now Yi Mo was sure that Fu Rong's words were partial lies, since this formation was broken in half a day. Even he needed 2 to 4 hours to break this stealth formation. After all, it was the first time he had seen such a formation. If he had seen similar formations before, he would probably only need 8 minutes. But he was a level 5 formation great master, while Fu Rong was at most a level 3 formation master. A level 3 formation master knew this level 5 stealth formation so well and attacked the formation door every time. This couldn't have been done in only a year. Brother Fu indeed knows the formation well. You broke it in such a short time. I'm greatly impressed. Chung Yugen saluted with his fists. Haha, if I wasn't confident in this, I wouldn't invite you guys over. Fu Rong smiled. He would have never thought that he had found a level 5 formation great master. Since the defense formation is revealed, let's break it quickly. This place is distant, but let's not let any accidents happen, Zhang Yidao said desperately. Yi Mo suddenly smiled too. Brother Fu's formation skills are very impressive. Brother Fu, it's not that I'm thinking too much. You and Brother Chung and Zheng are old friends, but I'm just by myself. Hearing this, Fu Rong was actually relieved. Yi Mo clearly knew that they were close, but didn't ask anything at all, and came along without taking any cautionary measures. This made him feel unsafe. Now that Yi Mo had asked, he felt easy instead. Before Fu Rong could answer, Chung Yugen smiled. Brother Yi, you're worrying too much. I've only known Brother Fu for just over 10 years. Brother Fu has always been at Mo High City. We've always teamed up to find wealth. Brother Zheng met us like this too. I don't think you need to worry about it like this. That's right. The first time I met Brother Fu, he had just arrived at Mo High City, Zheng Yidao said with a straight face. Yi Mo heard this and thought to himself that a cultivator who had only been in Mo High City for 10 years having such luck to find Yu Baixing's ruin, and even know how to break his level 5 formation wasn't ordinary at all. The feeling Fu Rong gave Yi Mo was that he came to Mo High City just for Yu Baixing's ruin. No matter what, it was fine as long as he got the Huang Star Rock. He wouldn't care what Fu Rong did, as long as it didn't affect him. The reason Fu Rong found the three was because they had one similar trait. They had very few friends. If something happened to them, no one would investigate it. Little did Fu Rong know that Yi Mo was already suspicious of him. This defense formation is level 5, but it's not hard to break. It has 4 formation doors. If we each attack one formation door at the same time, we should be able to succeed in one day, Fu Rong said. If that's the case, wouldn't it be faster if we attacked one door at the same time? Chung Yugen asked. Fu Rong shook his head. If that was the case, I wouldn't need you guys. The formation doors must be attacked at the same time and weakened at the same time, or an attack formation would be activated. If that happens, none of us will be able to get away. It's that powerful. Chung Yugen was surprised and nervous. Yi Mo nodded. Although he could break this by himself, what Fu Rong said was correct. Under Fu Rong's lead, the 4 attacked the 4 different formation doors. After half a day, the defense formation weakened. Chung Yugen and Zheng Yidao looked happy. Clearly, Fu Rong didn't lie at all. He really knew this defense formation. After another round of intense attacks, Yi Mo suddenly said to Fu Rong, Brother Fu, what was Yu Baixing's daughter's name? Yunyangyan. Fu Rong answered subconsciously. Yunyangyan, MHM. Yi Mo repeated, and didn't say anything. He sneered on the inside. Fu Rong knew Yu Baixing's formation so well he was indeed close to Yu Baixing's daughter. He tested it out easily. Fu Rong's face changed after answering, but it immediately recovered as though nothing happened. Chung Yugen asked strangely, Brother Fu, you even know Yu Baixing's daughter's name? Fu Rong laughed drily and said, Yes, I got her storage ring. That's how I knew her name. Chung Yugen didn't think much of it, but Zheng Yidao felt there was something wrong with Fu Rong's words. He didn't know why Yi Mo suddenly asked the name of the daughter, but Fu Rong answered too naturally. It was as though her name was deeply ingrained in his brain. Thinking about this, Zheng Yidao also grew a little suspicious of Fu Rong. Yi Mo got what he wanted. Zheng Yidao was vigilant of Fu Rong now. Fu Rong answered Cheng Yugeng's words, and his face turned bleak. He seemed to casually glance at Yi Mo, but found that Yi Mo was focused on attacking the formation. It was as though that question was just really a nonchalant question. He wasn't too sure anymore. After attacking the formation for nearly a day, the formation started rumbling louder and louder. Even Cheng Yugeng and Zheng Yidao knew that the formation was about to break. Seeing this, Yi Mo knew that it was time to stop attacking. Otherwise, at the same time that this defense formation was broken, it would counterattack once. In order for it to not counterattack, they had to stop now, and then attack each of their respective doors one final time with their full power. That way, the 4 formation doors would break at the same time, and there would be no counterattack. Otherwise, the first person to break the formation would be attacked by the formation. The counterattack of a level 5 formation would mean serious injury, but Fu Rong didn't seem to know this and kept attacking the formation. Yi Mo sneered. He didn't need to tell them this. He didn't need to be a saint. Cheng Yugeng hacked on his formation door, and the formation door blasted open. It's broken. Before Cheng Yugeng could be happy, he heard Fu Rong yell, "Brother Cheng, get out of the way!" Cheng Yugeng had already been thrown out by a huge force. At the same time, Fu Rong and Zheng Yidao were thrown out too. Yi Mo was no exception, but the difference was he flew out by himself. The other 3 were really attacked by the formation. However, Cheng Yugeng had sustained the heaviest injury. Cheng Yugeng ate a pill and started recovering. Zheng Yidao stared at Fu Rong and asked, "Brother Fu, what's going on? Didn't you say the attack formation wouldn't be activated if we attacked it together?" Fu Rong wiped the blood from his mouth and said, "It wasn't activated, or else we would have lost our lives. I didn't expect this defense formation to have a counterattack mechanism. I'm sorry, Brother Cheng." Fu Rong's face was full of guilt. Chapter 10:13. Ruin's Loot. Chapter 10:13. Ruin's Lu Cheng Yidao saw that Fu Rong was injured too, so he didn't pursue the matter. As the formation broke, a cave door was revealed. One could tell just from the entrance that it was indeed a cultivator ruin. Zheng Yidao was immediately captivated by the cave door, and even Cheng Yugeng looked joyful. Fu Rong seemed to know that he was under suspicion, so he said, "I'll go in first, follow behind me." Then he just walked in without waiting for the others' response. Zheng Yidao also followed in. Cheng Yugeng got up too. He was heavily injured, but he didn't want to give up on this treasure cove. Yi Mo was the most vigilant of Fu Rong, so he stayed behind to be last. The 4 came into a rather small stone room. Fu Rong stopped first. They stared at a body in the stone room. It had no life force, but the body was still there. "Low-grade Dao artifact armor," Cheng Yugeng yelled in shock. The clothes were starting to rot, but the armor was perfectly fine. "It's indeed Yu Baixing Qianbei's ruin," Zheng Yidao exclaimed. "I just need this armor, and this trip would be worth it for me," Cheng Yugeng murmured. Who didn't know the value of low-grade Dao artifact armor? It was even valuable to Yu Baixing. First of all, the materials to make it weren't cheap. Second, even forgery grandmasters had a chance of failing to forge it, and if they failed, the materials would be destroyed. Thus, a low-grade Dao artifact was very precious. Okay, Brother Cheng was injured the most, so this Dao artifact armor is his. Do you 3 have any objections? Fu Rong suddenly asked. Yi Mo shook his head. He didn't mind. A low-grade Dao artifact wasn't bad, but it had been worn by someone before. He didn't like it, especially how it was taken off a corpse. He had bought the rainbow plumage robe because it was newly made, and no one had worn it before. Cheng Yugeng saluted with his fists to the others and said, "Thank you, guys. I'm very grateful." Then Cheng Yugeng took the armor off that corpse, but he was rather nice and dressed the corpse with another set of clothes. Then he took off the storage ring and gave it to Fu Rong. Fu Rong said, "The spirit sense mark from the storage ring had disappeared. I'll take out the contents and put them on the ground. Everyone can have a look at them together. Do you have any objections?" Yi Mo didn't say anything, and Zheng Yidao shook his head. "I don't mind." Cheng Yubing didn't say anything either. Fu Rong took out the storage ring items. Yi Mo noticed the pill cauldron that fell to the ground. There were a lot of herb remnants inside, meaning that when the owner died, he had still been concocting pills. Yi Mo thought that if this person was Yu Baisheng, he was too much of a genius. He not only excelled in formations, but was also a level 3 forgery master, and even knew pill concoction. This guy was even better than him and had learned more complicated things than him. Whether it was pill concoction, forgery, or formation, one needed to spend an entire lifetime to study the field. The reason EMO was able to know both formations and pill concoction was not because he was much smarter than others, but because he cultivated the three-birth chant. Yi Mo was sure that Yu Baisheng wasn't cultivating the three-birth chant, yet he still was experienced in 3 areas. This was a true genius. The pill cauldron was full of dust, but was only a low-grade spirit artifact. With a low-grade Dao artifact here, no one cared about it. At this moment, Fu Rong had taken out everything from the storage ring and put them on the ground. There were quite a lot of things, but most of them were forgery materials. There were 2 low-grade Dao artifacts and around 3 million top-grade spirit stones. After seeing the materials, Yi Mo realized that the owner of the ring might really be Yu Baisheng. He only had so few spirit stones, meaning that he must have used most of them to buy all sorts of materials. There were no pills here, probably because Yu Baisheng used them all, but there were large amounts of formation flags. These had been spread loosely on the ground by Fu Rong in a messy way. But when Yi Mo saw the positions they were placed in, he sneered. This Fu Rong was really a schemer. He had seemingly thrown them around casually, but the positions were actually very important. Zheng Yidao and Cheng Yubing couldn't tell, but that didn't mean Yi Mo couldn't. He could tell that these formation flags could form a simple level 3 formation at any time. This wasn't because Fu Rong's formation skills were great, but because these formation flags were not ordinary level 3 formation flags. If this was a level 4 formation, Yi Mo would try to change the positions of a few flags now, but Yi Mo had no interest in changing up a level 3 formation. It was like paper to him. He could break it any time he wanted. There are 2 low-grade Dao attack artifacts. Brother Zheng and I will take one each. Brother, you can look around to see if there's Huang Star Rock. How about it? Fu Rong asked. The other 3 all looked at Yi Mo. They had agreed before they came in. If Yi Mo didn't agree, then he would be taking on all 3 of them. Yi Mo smiled. I don't mind, I'll have a look around for the Huang Star Rock. If it's not here, then I'll take something random. Is that fine? Hearing this, Zheng Yidao and Cheng Yubing breathed easy. This was the best outcome. Everyone was happy. Zheng Yidao quickly said, That's fine. If you find the box containing the Huang Star Rock, then whatever else is inside is also yours. If you don't find it, then you can take any jade box. They had taken the best things here. Most of the jade boxes on the ground were full of materials. Yu Baisheng was a forgery grandmaster. He must have used all the good materials already. The remaining materials were not comparable to a Dao artifact at all. So it was with these thoughts in mind that the 3 agreed to Yi Mo's request. Yi Mo walked amongst the materials and picked out a jade box. His purple eye soul sever could break through the spirit sense restrictions on the jade boxes and see what was inside. This one indeed had the Huang Star Rock, but there was also something else inside. Yi Mo resisted his excitement and put the jade box in his storage ring. He came here to test his luck, but he really found the Huang Star Rock. Yi Mo didn't see what the other item was, but he could check it out later. The only pity was that the Huang Star Rock was too small. Although it was agreed that Yi Mo would get the Huang Star Rock, who knew if the others would change their mind, if it really appeared. The three were surprised seeing that Yi Mo took a jade box without even looking at its contents, but they had already agreed. No one could tell him to show them what he got. Yi Mo only took 10% of the remaining spirit stones and ores. After splitting the items, Yi Mo walked over and picked up that low-grade spirit artifact cauldron. He smelled the herb remnants and put it away. No one wanted the low-grade spirit artifact pill cauldron, so no one said anything. Yi Mo got what he wanted and saluted with his fists. "I'm very happy with this cooperation. I'll be leaving now." Seeing this, Fu Rong's face looked dark. He suddenly asked, "Brother Yi, what did you get in that jade box?" Chapter 10:14. The conflict caused by the jade box. Chapter 10:14. The conflict caused by the jade box. Hearing this, both Cheng Yugeng and Zheng Yidao looked at Fu Rong with surprise. They'd already agreed that Yi Mo could take any jade box he wanted. This meant no matter what was in the box, no one had a right to ask. But now, they'd split up the loot and Fu Rong asked about what was in the box. However, everyone had selfish thoughts. Zheng Yidao and Cheng Yugeng felt strange as to why Fu Rong asked this, but they didn't question it. It was as though he knew that the two wouldn't question him. Fu Rong just stared at Yi Mo with a hint of threat in his eyes. Yi Mo smiled. "I took the least things, and everyone agreed to me getting a jade box. If it's the Huang Star Rock inside, then it's my luck. If it isn't, then it's bad luck. But no matter what's inside, what's that got to do with you?" Fu Rong smiled. "We came together, and we split things up clearly. The only thing we don't know is what's in your box. We didn't ask for your jade box. We just want you to show us." Yi Mo sneered. "Then sorry, the jade box belongs to me now. Even if there's an immortal pill in there, and I don't want to take it out, what can you do?" "The choice is not up to you." Fu Rong's smiling face sunk, and he threw out a few formation flags. The area where they stood immediately turned into a trap and attack formation. It was just a level 3 formation, but both Cheng Yugeng and Zheng Yidao's faces changed. The two looked at Fu Rong and said, "Brother Fu, what is this?" Fu Rong said, Brother Zheng, don't worry. To tell you the truth, my main purpose here is possibly for the jade box in Yi Mo's hands, but now he took it. Of course, I'm not satisfied. If you two are willing to help me take it back, I'm willing to give you both what I've just taken." Fu Rong not only took a Dao artifact, but also half of the spirit stones and large amounts of materials. Half the spirit stones was 5 million spirit stones. That was a fortune for the two. Cheng Yugeng and Fu Yidao glanced at each other, but didn't say anything. Fu Rong knew that they had already agreed, so he released a bronze bell and took out a few formation flags. "Wait, Brother Fu," Zheng Yidao suddenly called out. After Fu Rong stopped, he asked, "What are you looking for? You're willing to sacrifice a low-grade Dao artifact for it?" Fu Rong hesitated for a moment. Then, as though he had finally made up his mind, he said, "It's a hollow meridian pill. I found out that you Baixing stole someone's hollow meridian pill." "What? Hollow meridian pill?" the two exclaimed. Yi Mo was dazed. The hollow meridian pill was for nascent soul state cultivators to reach hollow spirit state, but Fu Rong said there was one in his box. He really knew how to bullshit. Yi Mo didn't know what the other material was, but it definitely wasn't some hollow meridian pill. Hearing this, the two didn't say anything. Cheng Yugeng was heavily injured, so he didn't think much, but Zheng Yidao was beginning to question. Who didn't want the pill to reach hollow spirit state? He thought Fu Rong was being generous handing out the low-grade Dao artifact, but now it seemed too stingy. Fu Rong seemed to know what Zheng Yidao was thinking and just said, "I have another way to get a Chao Huan pill. I can give it to you two later." These words fully drew the two to his side. What could be more attractive to a golden core state peak stage cultivator than a Chao Huan pill? The hollow meridian pill was good, but that was for nascent soul state tertiary stage. If they couldn't reach nascent soul state stage, it would be useless. But the Chow Huan pill was different. They could eat it now and reach nascent soul state. Plus, Fu Rong had the absolute upper hand now. His power was also a little higher than Yi Mo's. The two wouldn't reject his proposal unless they were idiots. But Yi Mo stared at Fu Rong and said, "Fu, if I'm not wrong, you probably had a special relationship with that Yun Yang, right? You came to here 10 years ago to find you Baixing Qianbei's ruin. I even suspect that Yun Yang died in your hands. Brother Zheng, we don't need to listen to his bullshit. Let's attack now," Fu Rong said, and threw out formation flags. His bronze bell struck towards Yi Mo. He didn't want Yi Mo to finish his words. Before the bell even arrived, it emitted a soul-piercing sound. Even Cheng and Zheng had to use their power to defend against it. Yi Mo sneered and released Zissou. With a dang, Zissou and the bell clashed, making a huge sound. Fu Rong's face changed and took back the bell. He was about to ask the two to help him, but before they could, Yi Mo threw out a few formation flags, and suddenly the trap formation changed, sweeping Fu Rong inside as well. Fu Rong looked at this scene in shock and even forgot to attack. He just looked dazedly at Yi Mo and said, You're a formation master? No, not a formation master. You're a formation great master. There was no way a formation master could change up his formation in such a short time. Yi Mo sneered. You took out the items inside the storage ring, but placed those formation flags down. You wanted to trap us three. The two who were about to attack had paused due to Yi Mo's power, but hearing this they were shocked. They subconsciously stayed further away from Fu Rong and had no intentions of attacking anymore. Bullshit. Fu Rong had calmed down. He didn't expect Yi Mo to be acting weak, but actually being a formation great master. This meant that everything he had done was already seen through by Yi Mo. Yi Mo sneered. You're a mere level 3 formation master, yet you're so familiar with a level 5 formation. If you didn't know you Baixing Qianbei's formation heritage well, how could you know? You knew this formation so well, but you let Brother Chen get hurt. Clearly you have no good intentions. Then, you secretly laid a trap formation while you were playing with the storage ring. Are you not planning to attack us after? Cheng Yubing's face was bitter. He realized that Yi Mo was telling the truth for sure. But Yi Mo knew the formation would counterattack, but hadn't pointed it out either. You can find you Baixing Qianbei's formation heritage, and his ruin. Clearly you have some relationship with him. And you said you found this place because of Yun Yang. You probably schemed against her as well, right? Yi Mo sneered. Stop framing me. Brother Zheng, and I are friends of many years. Why would I scheme against them? But you didn't do much, but instead you get the Hollow Meridian pill? This is the most unfair thing. Fu Rong still wanted to get the two on his side. But this time, Yi Mo couldn't even be bothered explaining and released Zissou again. This time, he used Illusion Cloud Whirlpool Strike. Fu Rong released the bronze bell again. But the Whirlpool sword rays were too dense, and the power of the cultivation essence wasn't something the bell could stop. Fu Rong was shaken and realized he was far from a match for Yi Mo. Without hesitation, he released a rune which swept up green light, taking Fu Rong away immediately. What was left in the air was just a bell. Chapter 10:15. Yu Baixing's last words. Chapter 10:15. Yu Baixing's last words, a small transmission rune? The instant he saw Fu Rong disappear, Yi Mo knew he wouldn't be able to kill him anymore. It could teleport someone 1,000 kilometers away instantly. This was beyond his spirit sense range. The small transmission rune was a level 8 rune and very precious. He didn't expect Fu Rong to have one. Seeing Yi Mo instantly beat Fu Rong, the other two's faces changed. When Yi Mo took away the formation flags, They immediately saluted with their fists and thanked Yi Mo before leaving without daring to say anything. Yi Mo didn't mind them leaving. Although he didn't end up getting a low-grade Tao artifact, he felt a hollow spirit state forgery grandmaster shouldn't have so little fortune. He left the area quickly. The first thing he took out wasn't the Huang Star Rock, but the low-grade spirit artifact cauldron. When he first picked it up, he had already recognized a few herbs: the Fu Song fruit, Rong flower, Hai Vine, and Wama. Yi Mo was a pill king, and these herbs were just level 2 to level 4 herbs. If a hollow spirit state cultivator was injured, he wouldn't use level 2 and level 3 spirit herbs for pill concoction. Plus, these herbs wouldn't form any pills at all. Their properties were irrelevant. How could Yu Baixing not be able to spirit refine these spirit herb? The first letters of each herb formed the words Fu Rong Hai Wa, meaning Fu Rong killed me. How could a mere golden core state cultivator kill a hollow spirit state cultivator Yu Baixing? But Yi Mo thought about it and figured out that it was due to the Huang Star Rock. With Yu Baixing's genius brain, how could he reveal that it was him who bought the Huang Star Rock? The only reason he was tracked down was because someone else exposed him. For someone to be able to do this, he must be quite close to Yu Baixing. Fu Rong's talent wasn't bad, but he wouldn't be able to be under the eyes of a genius like Yu Baixing. The only possibility was that he got with his daughter and used her to get close to Yu Baixing. Thinking that Fu Rong used Yu Baixing's daughter to gain benefits and then turn around to bite him, Yi Mo felt more disgust towards Fu Rong. It was a shame he wasn't able to kill him. The only thing Yi Mo didn't get was that since Yu Baixing could guess that Fu Rong and Yu Nyangyan would come here, why did he put all the things in the storage ring? If that was the case, then even if Yu Nyangyan knew that Fu Rong killed him, she wouldn't be able to get revenge. Didn't he want to leave something behind for his daughter? Yi Mo thought for a while and studied the pill cauldron. It was indeed a low-grade spirit artifact pill cauldron. The design was coarse. It was made with good materials, but the finished product wasn't refined. Soon he noticed something wrong. This cauldron had only been used for pill concoction once. This meant that Yu Baixing made this cauldron on the spot. Why would a forgery grand master use such a coarse, low-grade spirit artifact? Was there something with the pill cauldron? Yi Mo became more and more confident in his conjecture. He started to dissect this cauldron. What Yi Mo didn't expect was that this cauldron was built together from different parts. He opened it without any trouble. It was empty inside, but a jade slip and jade box lay in the middle. Yi Mo picked up the jade slip and couldn't help admiring Yu Baixing. He was indeed a forgery grandmaster. He could use different parts to assemble a spirit artifact. What a genius! Yu Baixing also had a good grasp on human characteristics. He had low-grade Tao artifacts scattered all over him and in his storage ring. Only an idiot would care about the coarse-looking pill cauldron. The only one to notice something odd would be his daughter. Yi Mo took it because he saw something special about the cauldron. Meanwhile, the daughter would lift up her father's items, seeing that it fell to the ground. If Yu Baixing could predict even this, then clearly he put his hopes of revenge on his daughter. Yi Mo picked up the jade slip. Nyangyan, after you read this, don't show anyone, and don't show any expression on your face. Remember, your father was killed by that Fu Rong. This man has a human face, but the heart of a beast. He probably got close to you for our bitter bamboo. Seeing this, Yi Mo's body started to shake. What was the bitter bamboo? Many people didn't know, but Yi Mo knew about this. It was a huge spirit item of the legends. It was said that one who cultivated while sitting under the bitter bamboo would have a clear mind and not be distraught by inner demons. Cultivators all knew that the higher one's power, the more one was affected by inner demons, especially during divine damnation. Inner demons were unstoppable. Without their disturbance, one could cultivate to whatever degree they wanted to. Yi Mo also knew that the bitter bamboo had another use, and that was for forgery. Even someone who didn't know forgery could make a Tao artifact with the bitter bamboo. This meant that the bitter bamboo was definitely one of the most powerful spirit items of the cultivation realm. Yu Baixing had bitter bamboo? How come he didn't find it? Yemo couldn't help but keep reading. He told me about the Huang Star Rock, and after I bought it, he spread this news to the Bay three demons. One could see how much calculations he had made. If I didn't come out for a few decades, he would definitely convince you to go where I died. If he is by your side, stay calm. There are 2 Burstein pills in the jade box next to you. That should be enough to kill him. Yemo opened the jade box and indeed found the 2 Burstein pills. Yemo put them in his ring and kept reading. Fu Rong clearly has some relationship with the Bay three demons. If you can't kill him, then leave this area immediately. If you're not my daughter but that Fu Rong bastard, then pretend I said nothing. If you're someone else, then that means my daughter might have already been killed by that bastard. I've been great my entire life but died to the hands of a schemer. I'm unsatisfied. No matter who you are, if you can help me kill Fu Rong and the Bay three demons, I will repay you dearly. Bay three demons have been hurt by my soul-devouring formation. They will be looking for such pills to recover their soul and spirit sense. You can investigate from there. Yu Baixing. Mo was greatly disappointed here. There was no more mention of the bitter bamboo. He might not even get the repayment, since Yu Baixing had been dead for so many years. But no matter what, he had to kill Fu Rong and the Bay three demons if he wanted the repayment. Mo walked back to the body. Even if he killed those people, he still needed to take the bitter bamboo from Yu Baixing. Yu Baixing was just a corpse, but who knew if he had left behind any means? Mo took Yu Baixing's body and went to a distant island, digging a cave there for him before sealing it with defense and stealth formations. He had decided to kill those people if he could, and see if this repayment was real. Mo had no problem killing a low-life like Fu Rong. That Yu Nyangyan was probably ugly. Otherwise, how could she fall in love with this average-looking Fu Rong? A few days later, Mo returned to Mo High City. Just when he wanted to find a place to rest, he heard 2 cultivators saying, "Pill Master Feng's skills are undoubtedly good. He helped me make 6 top-grade condensed red pills. Yes, if he didn't ask for the 9 feet sea snake's beast core for payment, his business would be much better another side." Mo heard this and looked up. He indeed saw a board with the words Honest Pill Tower written on it. Chapter 1016. Fong Honest Secret. Chapter 1016. Fong Honest Secret. Fu Rong said. He was close to Fong Honest. Would Fong Honest know about Fu Rong's situation? Thinking about this, Mo walked inside Honest Pill Tower. After walking inside, Mo realized this place was a little dark. There wasn't even a window, and there were no workers in the shop, just a man in his 50s sitting by the counter. He seemed to be cultivating, but also studying the herbs in front of him. The man looked a little old and was Golden Core State Level 9. Mo thought of that Fei Zijiang, but this man looked even more honest than Fei Zijiang. "May I ask if you're Pill Master Fong?" Mo asked. The man looked at Mo and suddenly stood up, saying nervously, "Yes, I'm Fong Honest. May I ask if you want pill concoction or to buy pills?" Mo just realized that there were a lot of racks in the shop filled with all sorts of pills. Most of them were Foundation Establishment State and Golden Core State pills. There were also a few Qi Gathering pills, but nothing above Golden Core State. Mo smiled. No wonder this guy was called Fong Honest. Was he this nervous every time he saw someone? "A friend recommended me to come here for pill concoction, but I don't know what pills you can concoct. My friend said you're really good and highly recommended you. His name is Fu Rong. You're his friend, right?" Mo asked casually. Fong Honest's face looked blank and dazed before he replied. "Fu Rong? I've really never heard of this name." Mo felt this was strange. Cultivators had spirit sense. Their memories were very strong. Usually they wouldn't forget after seeing someone once, but this Fong Honest hadn't heard of Fu Rong? Was Fu Rong lying or this honest lying? Yi Mo didn't continue and changed the topic. It's like this, Pill Master Fong, I want to ask you to concoct a tan hua pill for me. Yi Mo suddenly stopped after seeing the two herbs in front of Fong Honest. There was a scorching magic grass and ghost-faced mushroom. Both herbs were beneficial to spirit sense and could be added into a pill. The ghost-faced mushroom was very rare and was a level 6 herb. He found a few in the herb plane, but Fong Honest had one in front of him, a level 8 spirit pill master, and a level 6 herb couldn't be considered rare. But the ghost-faced mushroom made Yi Mo feel strange. Both were for spirit sense recovery, but one was fire element and the other was yin element. Another water element herb needed to be added for pill concoction. 9-foot sea snake? Yi Mo suddenly thought. This Fong Honest had a habit of collecting them. The beast core of the snake was of the water element. It might even be better than the water element spirit herbs. You need to concoct the tan hua pill. Fong Honest's tone was genuine, as though he was making sure Yi Mo really wanted it. Yi Mo focused his attention and said, yes, but I wasn't able to get a 9-foot sea snake. Can I pay more spirit stones? Fong Honest's bubbled face had an apologetic smile as he said, sorry, it's necessary because a lot of my herbs are from a friend, and my friend keeps a spirit beast that loves to eat the beast core of the sea snake. Yi Mo pretended to think while he looked at Fong Honest, but his calm face was almost shattered. Yi Mo saw clearly this time. This Fong Honest was no golden core state level 9. He was a hollow spirit state cultivator, if he didn't cultivate the 3-birth chant, and was suspicious of Fong Honest, he wouldn't be able to tell at all. Yi Mo thought of Yu Baixing's last words and knew that Fong Honest might be one of the Bei 3 demons. That's why he was concocting spirit sense recovery pills. Yi Mo cursed he hadn't even found Fu Rong yet, but had already found one of the Bei demons. He didn't know if this was good or bad luck. He couldn't show any signs of recognition at all. If this Fong Honest noticed something wrong, he might never be able to leave this shop. If this Fong Honest was one of the Bei 3 demons, then he knew Fu Rong for sure. Fong Honest was probably already suspicious of him. In that case, Yi Mo hesitated for a second before saying, I'll go to the deep sea and see if I can get a 9-foot sea snake. Fong Honest nodded, and Yi Mo quickly said, then I'll be leaving first. I'll come find you again if I can get the 9-foot sea snake. Yi Mo didn't dare to linger at all. He left immediately and walked out for a long distance before being able to calm himself down. He just realized his back was drenched in sweat. He knew that no matter how injured Fong Honest was, it was all too easy for a hollow spirit state to kill him. The bitter bamboo was beneficial, but he needed to be alive to enjoy it. He had asked about Fu Rong, but Fong Honest didn't keep him, meaning that Fu Rong wasn't back yet. If Fu Rong had come back, then he wouldn't have been able to leave today. Yi Mo's flying ship was faster and Fu Rong was injured, so he had probably gone to recover first. Luckily, he didn't waste time outside, or he would have been caught straight away. He had to leave the city quickly. Thinking this, Yi Mo departed immediately. Fong Honest looked at Yi Mo's scurrying figure and frowned. He seems very scared of me and very nervous, although I've never seen him before. Scared of Fong Honest in Peihai City. This is a first. When Yi Mo came to the teleportation formation for South Peace City, he realized that it only opened for 4 hours each day. The teleportation formation had just closed for the day. He had to wait another day to use it again. Waiting here for a day, Yi Mo knew that if he didn't want to die, he had to leave immediately, because if Fu Rong came back and met Fong Honest, he would never be able to leave. But where could he go? Other than the teleportation formation, there was taking a boat towards South Peace City. Yi Mo came to the docks and happened to make it to the last one. A 20K top-grade Spirit Stones ticket wasn't cheap, but it was nothing to Yi Mo. In his desperation, Yi-mo got on the ship and realized that there was a 30K Spirit Stones VIP room, but Yi-mo couldn't care anymore. He was lucky to even get on. Yi-mo didn't wait for long before the ship left the docks. Seeing this, Yi-mo finally breathed easy. If he got to South Peace City, he would be safe. Feng Honest hid his power and stayed in a distant corner in Mo High City to concoct pills, meaning that he didn't dare to show his face publicly. It took 6 days to go from Mo High City to South Peace City, but Yi-mo didn't waste this time. He started using the blue Wind pill to break through to Golden Core State Peak Stage. Yi-mo estimated that he would be able to reach Golden Core State Peak Stage by the time he arrived at South Peace City. Then he would leave his name on the trial tablet and wait for news of Luoying and the rest. 4 days had passed, but he was still a bit off from Golden Core State Peak Stage, as he used blue Wind pill instead of Heaven Glory pills. Seeing that there were 2 days before getting to South Peace City, Yi-mo stopped his cultivation and wanted to go out for a walk when he heard a commotion outside. Yi-mo frowned. Was it always this busy? There seemed to be a lot of cultivators on the deck. Yi-mo also walked over and scanned his spirit sense out. This was a public area, so it was fine to do so. At the same time, a bloodied arm fell in front of him. Chapter 1017. Don't flaunt your excellence. Chapter 1017. Don't flaunt your excellence. Yi-mo saw a Golden Core State in the middle of the crowd sit on the deck. He didn't have a left arm. The other cultivator was tens of meters away from him and had a flying sword swirling above his head. Clearly, he was the one who sliced off the first man's arm. What was strange was that the cultivator with no arm was Golden Core State Level 9, while the cultivator with the flying sword was only Golden Core State Level 8. The cultivator with the flying sword didn't seem very old either. What shook Yi-mo more was that the sitting cultivator still had the ability to fight, but instead he just looked down and didn't even dare to glance at the other cultivator. The crowd moved aside a little. The deck was very big, bigger than several few football fields. You pick up the severed arm. That young cultivator saw that the arm had landed in front of Yi-mo and pointed at Yi-mo, killing intent ravaging with his words, as though he was spitting out ice swords, making people very uncomfortable. Everyone looked at Yi-mo, and then towards the area Yi-mo had come from. Yi-mo looked as well, and saw that he came out from the ordinary passage. He realized that this Golden Core State Level 8 probably thought he was easy to abuse and wanted to assert his dominance. A mere Golden Core State Level 8 dared to assert his dominance over him. A Golden Core State Level 9? This was the first time Yi-mo had seen such a thing. Yi-mo didn't want to cause trouble, but he wasn't scared of it if it came looking for him. Even if Feng Honest tried to kill him, he would still resist. Yi-mo picked up the broken arm and threw it towards the owner. The arm flew directly onto the wound. The cultivator didn't expect Yi-mo to do this and nodded to him gratefully, but he also gave Yi-mo an apologetic look. He ate a few pills and used a few magic spells on his arm to heal himself, but still didn't dare to look at that young cultivator. What Yi-mo did was clearly acting against him. That Golden Core State Level 8's face immediately turned angry. You're asking to die. The flying sword above his head hummed, as though ready to kill. But just then, the ship shook violently, and people started to feel the ship body slant. This ship was like a moving continent. Usually such a huge ship would only shake a little. Something like this never happened before. Just when people didn't know what was going on, they heard a sharp howl, and everyone immediately realized that there was danger. A Level 8 sea rain dragon. Someone said. They didn't know why a Level 8 sea rain dragon would appear in the inner sea, but they were pretty much dead for sure. Everyone wanted to run out of the boat and escape, but there were defense restrictions that bounced the cultivators back. The ship was in chaos as a huge sea dragon had peeped inside from the restrictions, which were like paper to the huge head. Tens of cultivators were devoured before they could even react, with the restriction broken. All the cultivators started trying to escape. Yi Mo wasn't going to stay on the deck either. From the power Chi the dragon emitted, Yi Mo could tell that it was very easy for it to devour even hollow spirit state cultivators. Theoretically, there wouldn't be any high-level beasts between Mo High and South Peace City, but this incident had still occurred. Although he knew there were cauldron-filling state cultivators in Mo High City who could kill the dragon, who knew when they would arrive, Yi Mo stood on the flying ship and darted towards one direction desperately. Luckily, there were too many cultivators on the ship, and the dragon wasn't able to kill them all. Many escaped, but some unlucky ones became food for the sea dragon. After flying out tens of thousands of kilometers, Yi Mo felt relieved. However, he didn't keep heading towards South Peace City, instead stopping and turning around. You must not have much patience to keep chasing after this long. Suddenly, a long-haired man appeared behind Yi Mo and said coldly, "Not bad, you could tell I was chasing you. You have some power to be a hero, but unfortunately, you're unlucky." Yi Mo stood on the flying ship and said calmly, "You're a mere Golden Core State Level 8, and you dare to chase a great master of Golden Core State Level 9. You're very bold." Ha! That long-haired cultivator heard this and laughed. He wasn't able to stop, as though he heard the funniest joke of his life. Yi Mo didn't speak and just waited for a reply. "A mere Golden Core State Level 8 cultivator, and you, a Golden Core State Level 9 master. Okay, this is the first time I, Tian Alfing, have heard someone call me a mere Golden Core State Level 8. This is the first time I've heard a Golden Core State Level 9 who dares to call himself a master in front of me. You've got balls, big balls." The long-haired cultivator laughed. Yi Mo shook his head and said impatiently, "No need to flaunt your name. I get it, your name is Tian Alfing. But I've never heard of it, so please stop flaunting your false sense of superiority. I don't have time to play with you. Daddy still needs to go to the trial square to put my name on the tablet." "Very well. You've successfully annoyed me." Tian Alfing took out a long blue sword. Instantly, it loomed over Yi Mo with an eerie blue ray. The flying sword brought sword chi with it that sealed off Yi Mo's escape routes. Even with Yi Mo's cultivation essence power, he felt a slight pause in space. But Yi Mo had always been fighting people more powerful than him. He never considered people below his level to be a threat. Yi Mo reached out, and Zisu appeared in his hands. The next moment, purple sword rays swept towards the blue sword chi. Clash, there was a huge explosion. It seemed that space itself was filled with killing intent. Sword chi splashed out in countless waves. Yi Mo was shocked. He had underestimated this Tian Alfing. This guy was the strongest Golden Core State cultivator he had seen, even though he was only Golden Core State Level 8. The cultivators in South Peace State were indeed abundant and much stronger than in North Far State. He thought the strongest Golden Core State cultivator was that Mo Qianli, but he was only Golden Core State Middle Stage at the time they had fought. If he met Mo Qianli now, he would be able to break the evil soul strands with a few slices. Meanwhile, this Tian Alfing clashed with him once and wasn't at a disadvantage. Clearly, this Tian Alfing was much stronger than Mo Qianli. Tian Alfing saw that his strike was blocked easily. It was as though Yi Mo didn't even try at all. He was also shook. Since when was there such a powerful Golden Core State cultivator? Was he the core member of some great sect? But he was right, Yi Mo didn't even really try. "Who are you?" Tian Alfing didn't keep attacking, but instead questioned Yi Mo. He was the genius of Lightning Cloud sect and had already entered the Golden Core State Hall of Fame at Golden Core State Level 4. He left his name on the trial tablet and was already Golden Core State Level 8 now. He rarely faced any true opponents. Yi Mo flicked Sisu outwards and said, "Don't bullshit. If you want to fight, then fight. Where's your sense of superiority?" Tian Alfing sneered and opened his mouth. He spat out a blue bead. When the bead first came out, it was only longan-sized, but it quickly became fist-sized and was growing bigger and bigger. Then Tian Alfing yelled, "Lin." Chapter 1018. South P City, Chapter 1018. South P City, before Yi Mo could figure out what that blue bead was, he saw multiple blue lightning bolts flash from it. At first they were only chopstick-sized, but soon more lightning bolts appeared, and they became thicker as well. Yi Mo realized that this blue bead was a lightning source. Clearly, Tian Alfeng was cultivating a lightning-style cultivation method. This blue bead was like a small version of divine damnation. It was powerful. Even others cultivating lightning-style cultivation methods would have to dodge this. At that moment, Tian Alfeng would be able to attack however he wanted. At the same power level, he was already unbeatable. Yi Mo was speechless. This Tian Alfeng was really unlucky that he had met him. Yi Mo was searching for a lightning source, which was what he needed to reach Golden Core State peak stage. This Tian Alfeng was really a good man. When he used the three-birth chant, all the blue lightning bolts that struck Yi Mo were devoured. Meanwhile, Yi Mo's long, stagnant cultivation level started to progress. Seeing that Yi Mo didn't even try to dodge his attack, Tian Alfeng sneered. He knew this guy was done for. But as time moved on, even as Tian Alfeng felt himself running out of cultivation essence, Yi Mo was still fine. Only then did he realize the problem. Tian Alfeng was about to take back his lightning source, but at this moment, Yi Mo howled. He had successfully reached Golden Core State peak stage. Yi Mo was grateful to Tian Alfeng, but he wasn't going to show any mercy, shouting, "Eat my sword." Countless sword rays formed as he used Illusion Cloud Whirlpool Strike. It instantly swept Tian Alfeng's body away. Tian Alfeng was already low on cultivation essence after using the lightning source. Now that Yi Mo's power had increased a level, Tian Alfeng wasn't even able to dodge and was immediately torn to pieces. So he didn't even use his full power before. This is his real power. I can't even run away. Tian Alfeng thought before he died. Yi Mo burned Tian Alfeng's body and caught an egg-sized blue lightning source. It had been attacking him for a long time before, but Yi Mo could still feel the intense lightning power inside it. This is good. Yi Mo threw it inside his Golden Page world without a second thought and left on his flying ship. There were powerful people everywhere. This Tian Alfeng was young, but powerful. Ordinary Golden Core State level 9 cultivators would have easily killed by him. He definitely had no simple origin. If people were to discover that he killed him, it would be really bad. Lightning Cloud Sect. A gray-robed old man got up and howled, "Who dares to kill my disciple? I will rip your skin and burn your soul." Arg. Then he spat a mouthful of blood. Clearly, he was too angry. What happened? Martial Brother Tian. A man heard the noise and ran over. "My disciple Tian Alfeng was just killed." The gray-robed old man said word by word. His fists were clenched. The man who came in didn't expect it to be so serious. He was days before asking, "Who has the balls to kill the core disciple of our Lightning Cloud sect?" More than 10 figures gathered at the scene as well. What? Alfeng was killed? No way. Who could dare to? The people who came and expressed their disbelief. Tian Alfeng was the number 2 genius of the sect, just below Fang Zhongshi. According to his performance, he might even be able to surpass Fang Zhongshi. But now that this disciple was killed, who dared to do this? Not even a 9-star sect dared to do this. Investigate this matter. Even if you turn over South P State, you must find out who did this, a middle-aged man cultivator roared. Then he looked at the gray-robed man and said, "Elder Tion, you're about to face your disaster transformation trial. You need to calm down. Don't worry. Alfing's business is the sex business. Even if we offend the entire South Peace State, we will find out who killed him." The first cultivator said coldly, "This person must have Alfing's blue lightning source. No matter where he puts it, we can track him down." Yemo didn't know if the lightning source was marked, but he was no novice. He would never put something that could expose him in his storage ring. Usually, he would put it in his Golden Page world. He had finally reached Golden Core State Peak stage. Yemo couldn't help but sigh. As long as he left his name on the trial tablet, he could find a safe place to reach nascent soul state. The prosperity of South Peace City reminded Yemo of Beijing. There were shops everywhere. No wonder the city was the #1 city. The hottest topic right now was the ship that was stopped by the Level 8C Rain Dragon. Countless cultivators had been killed. Yemo realized from other people's discussions that a cauldron-filling state cultivator from South Peace City headed towards the Heartless Sea and killed the Level 8C Rain Dragon on the spot. He was gathering the cultivators on board. Those who were able to survive could get 100K top-grade spirit stones as compensation. Hearing this, Yemo was more desperate to cultivate faster. The sea dragon was so powerful, yet it was easily killed by a cauldron-filling state cultivator. One could see how powerful a cauldron-filling state cultivator was. If he fell in the hands of a cauldron-filling state enemy one day, Yemo shook his head and didn't want to keep thinking. No matter how cunning he was, he would never be able to get away. Suddenly, Yemo felt grateful towards Wang Yu sect. They had a disaster transformation state cultivator. If they had forced him to concoct the spirit recovery pill, he wouldn't be able to resist them at all. Low power meant you were an insect. Yemo sighed and quickened his pace. He wanted to go to magic artifact shops to buy a magic artifact to conceal his looks. Those who were able to survive got 100K as compensation. This fact made Yemo vigilant. He wasn't familiar with South Peace State, but he knew there would be nothing free. Even if he was desperate for the 100K spirit stones, he wouldn't go collect them. Yemo needed a new face concealing magic artifact, as 9 transformations wasn't up to standard anymore. A hollow spirit state cultivator would be able to see through it at once. He didn't go to the biggest magic artifact shop, but went to a middle-sized one instead. It was called Yudao Magic Artifacts. "Qianbei, may I ask what you want?" A pretty-looking foundation establishment state young girl greeted Yemo hospitably. Yemo nodded. "Do you have any face concealing magic artifacts?" "I want good quality ones. No need to show me. Ones below top grade spirit artifact." The girl heard this and immediately knew that Yemo was no poor man. She said with more respect, "Yudao Magic Artifacts is not the biggest shop here, but we have the most unique magic artifacts. I believe you won't be disappointed. Please come upstairs with me." After coming to the 3rd floor, Yemo realized that the Immortal Treasure Tower could at most be comparable to one of their shelves. The 3rd floor was huge, and the shelves were full of spirit artifacts ranging from low grade to extreme grade. Yemo asked the girl, "This is floor 3. Does that mean there are better magic artifacts upstairs?" The girl heard this, and some disappointment could be seen in her eyes as she said, "Yes, we have 5 levels. Level 1 has magic artifacts. Level 2 has materials. Level 3 has spirit artifacts. Level 4 has spirit treasures and ancient treasures. And Level 5 has Dao artifacts. Qianbei, do you want to go up?" Yemo nodded and said, "Let's go to Level 4. As for a Dao artifact, mask, he really wanted it, but if a high-level cultivator could see it, he wouldn't be able to keep it. Spirit artifacts were the best for him. Spirit treasures were something in between spirit artifacts and Dao artifacts. The bad ones were worse than low-grade spirit artifacts, but the good ones were similar to Dao artifacts. The issue with spirit treasures was that they couldn't be spirit controlled, so it wasn't as good as your own spirit controlled magic artifact. People rarely use spirit treasures. Most would use spirit artifacts or Tao artifacts. Plus, spirit treasure were nearly as pricey as Tao artifacts, so no one bought them. But this was a benefit to Yi Mo, because if it couldn't be spirit controlled, people wouldn't be able to tell what it was easily. Chapter 1019, Trial Tablet Number 1. Chapter 1019, Trial Tablet Number 1. Hearing that Yi Mo wanting to go see the spirit treasures, the few golden core state cultivators at the third floor shook their heads, and some even looked contemptuous. A mere golden core state level 9 dared to buy spirit treasures. Without a doubt, he was just trying to show off. Those girls alongside the golden core state cultivators looked pitifully at the girl standing next to Yi Mo. Clearly, they felt bad for her taking care of a cultivator who liked to pretend he was wealthy. These cultivators were rare, but they could be found once in a while. But in the South P state, customers were gods. And despite knowing that the customer was only pretending they had money and just walking around without buying anything, the workers had to stay with them. The girl kept her smile on her face and didn't say anything despite her disappointment. There were much fewer items on the 4th level than level 3, not even 1% of the items below. There were even fewer face mask types. Yi Mo didn't see anyone else at this level. Yi Mo came in and immediately walked up to an almost ethereal mask. The mask didn't emit any spirit chi waves, but Yi Mo knew it wasn't ordinary. For spirit treasures, the less spirit chi waves emitted, the higher the level. The girl saw Yi Mo stand in front of that mask and quickly explained, "This mask is called Hidden Sand. After you wear it, it's like hiding amongst sand in a desert. Even cauldron-filling state cultivators might not be able to see through it. The price is 35 million top-grade spirit stones. If you want it, we can give a 60K discount." 35 million. This was really expensive. He had heard Furong and the others say that a top-grade spirit artifact cost 200K spirit stones, and he thought the price of magic artifacts here weren't expensive. But now he realized how expensive the high-leveled ones were. However, this item was important to him. Yi Mo decided to buy it. The girl saw Yi Mo hesitate and said, "The mask next to it only costs 520K spirit stones." Yi Mo stopped her from talking and said, "No need, I'll take Hidden Sand. Take me to your 5th floor. I'll pay later." Huh? The girl wasn't able to react quickly. Did this person really have so many spirit stones? 3 million spirit stones were almost enough to buy a low-grade Tao artifact. But then she immediately reacted and said, "Yes, Qianbei." Then she took Yi Mo to 5th floor with a face of excitement. She felt like she was dreaming. Because she was new here, she could only assist the Golden Core State cultivators. As for the nascent Soul State cultivators and above, there were older workers to take care of them. Golden Core State cultivators usually bought items that cost less than 1 million spirit stones. Rarely would the payment exceed 1 million. So the commission she received was also not much. The girl didn't expect that it was her turn to meet a cash lord. She was very excited just thinking about the commission. 1% for a foundation establishment state cultivator was quite an earning, 3,000 top-grade spirit stones. There weren't many shelves on the 5th floor either. Yi Mo counted and found there were no more than 100 Tao artifacts, but it was already a huge amount for this shop. Most of them were low-grade Tao artifacts, with a few middle-grade Tao artifacts. Yi Mo wasn't interested in those attack Tao artifacts. He was very happy with Sisu. Plus, there were quite a few nascent soul state cultivators looking at the Tao artifacts. Even if Yi Mo had the money, he wouldn't dare to buy it. Those nascent soul state cultivators saw Yi Mo come and only glanced at him once. Yi Mo shook his head and wanted to leave, but he saw an armor near the door. The girl knew Yi Mo was wealthy and said, "Qian Bei, this is a half-Dao artifact armor. It was just forged and is 65 million, but there are no discounts for it. So it was just a half-Dao artifact, but still costs 65 million. Qian Bei?" The girl asked, seeing that Yi Mo didn't respond. Yi Mo nodded. "Okay, I'll take that. These are the spirit stones. The extras are your tip." The girl took over the storage bag and searched inside to find there were indeed 5 million spirit stones inside. Her hands shook with excitement. She not only conducted a 5 million spirit stone transaction today, but also received the biggest tip in history, 50K spirit stones. It seemed she wouldn't need to be a sales assistant anymore. She only had to focus on cultivation. The first thing Yi Mo did after buying the 2 items was finding a distant place to spirit control the armor, and then put on hidden sand. The 3 million spirit stones were worth it, Yi Mo said happily. Hidden sand didn't show on his face, but his face and chi changed completely. It was time to go trial tablet square. Yi Mo immediately heading towards there. Yi Mo came to the square and wanted to try his luck when there were no people. Once his name appeared, he would find a place to reach nascent soul state and then come back, secretly waiting for Luo Ying. What Yi Mo didn't expect was that when he arrived, the place was full of people. Yi Mo wanted to ask someone what was going on, but heard people discussing on the side. "I wonder if young Master Shao can beat Fang Zhongshe this time. It'll be very hard. Fang Zhongshe is the prodigy of the Lightning Cloud sect, and is on par with young Master Yuan. Not necessarily. Half a year ago, when young Master Fang left his name here, young Master Shao was here too, but he didn't try. Since he came now, it meant he has confidence in beating Fang Zhongshe." Yi Mo didn't know either of the people, so he could only listen. If he asked some strange question, he would immediately become the center of attention. After a long while, Yi Mo realized that young Master Shao was Xiao Fei of Golden Sword Sect, the number 2 of South Peace State Golden Core State Hall of Fame. Fang Zhongshe was number 1, and also 11th ranked on the trial tablet. Xiao Fei had a sister called Xiao Shiyun, who was one of the South Peace State 10 beauties. Yi Mo looked at the cultivator in front of the Golden Core State trial tablet. He wore golden cultivator robes and seemed calm like water. He didn't move at all, and many people felt as though the person didn't exist. Yi Mo nodded. This guy was clearly stronger than Tian Alfeng. Suddenly, a powerful qi exploded from Xiao Fei. The discussions quietened down. People knew that Xiao Fei was about to mark his name. After that burst of power, the golden figure rose up like a golden eagle. When the figure neared about 35 meters from the ground, he stopped and wrote the name Xiao Fei quickly. As soon as it was written, the golden ray seeped into the tablet and disappeared. The figure slowly landed, and the square was silent. Everyone was waiting for his name to appear. The instant he landed, the name Xiao Fei appeared on the tablet. It replaced the original 11th name, Fang Zhongshe. After a brief silence, the square burst into applause. Young Master Shao surpassed Golden Core State Hall of Fame number 1 Fang Zhongshe. He's the new number 1. He indeed came with confidence and surpassed Fang Zhongshe in just half a year. Amazing. Chapter 1020. Yi Mo's Trial. Chapter 1020. Yi Mo's trial. Xiao Fei saw that his name was above Fang Zhongshe's and nodded, as though this was the result he had expected. Still, he shook his head as he looked at the top 10 names. Young Master Shao, Big Brother Shao. All sorts of calls sounded from the square. Xiao Fei looked back and smiled at the crowd, saluting with his fists to the countless cheers. He then turned and disappeared from the trial tablet square. The people discussed even more vigorously after Xiao Fei's departure. Some even made up their mind to try their best to leave their mark on the trial tablet as well. Being revered by all was an honor even cultivators couldn't refuse. But that was just a fantasy. No one tried to write their name after Xiao Fei. The trial tablets had been here for who knows how many years. If it was so easy to get on them, then there would be too many people trying every day. So, it was usually the cultivators who got into the Hall of Fame or had the confidence that they were on the same level who would try to write their names on the trial tablet. Otherwise, you would receive the ridicule of countless people instead of their praise. This had become the custom. Those who succeeded were heroes, and those who failed were idiots. Even if someone without confidence wanted to write their name, they would come when there were no people. Of course, the main thing was that each person could only try to leave their name on the tablet twice. If they failed both times, they would never have a chance again. This second chance had a prerequisite, and that was you got in the first time. Otherwise, you would never get a chance to do so. Other than this, sex rarely took in cultivators who failed the trial tablets. It was not because they didn't know their own limits, but because those who failed would usually have a mental barrier that would make it harder for them to reach higher levels in the road of cultivation. Not all cultivators would be affected. Some would instead work even harder, but these cultivators were rather rare. Yi Mo saw the huge crowd of people and didn't try to write his name. He had worn a top-grade mask, but Fu Rong knew he would be coming here. He had to wait until everyone left before he could make his move. Before that, he also had to make sure that Fu Rong wasn't watching. Yi Mo was sure that only a rare few people knew his name in the South Peace City. Amidst the heated discussion, two people finally couldn't resist the excitement and came up to the tablet wanting to try. One was stopped at just 15 meters and marked his name. The tablet didn't react at all. The second guy somehow surpassed 18 meters, but his name didn't show either. The two left with red faces under the ridicule of the crowd, but some people were able to recognize who they were. They not only lost their second chance to try, but were also used as a negative example. With this, even though more people wanted to mark their name, no one dared to. Yi Mo didn't leave. He found a place to sit and waited quietly. He had to leave his name on the tablet as quickly as he could, and then go into hiding to reach nascent soul state. Then he would come back and wait for news of Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue. At midnight, the people gradually left until only a few people stood at the square, trying to feel the success of other cultivators. Yi Mo knew that even if he waited longer, there wouldn't be any fewer people, so he got up. Now was the best time to try. Yi Mo walked up to the tablet. A decent-looking girl stood there with her eyes closed, as though feeling something. "Can you please move over?" Yi Mo asked. The girl knew Yi Mo was here, but she still kept her eyes closed until Yi Mo spoke. "Am I affecting you by standing here?" Yi Mo nodded. "Yes, you are. I want to give it a try." "What? You want to try?" the girl exclaimed. Before she could keep talking, another male cultivator rushed over. He walked up to Yi Mo and saluted with his fists. "Friend, my martial sister admires young Master Xiao greatly." She didn't want to leave, so she could feel young Master Zhao's qi. Please forgive her for any interruptions. Yi Mo glanced at this male cultivator. He was Golden Core State Level 3, 2 levels higher than the girl. It was obvious he liked his martial sister. Yi Mo felt pity for this male cultivator. The woman he liked was enamored by another man. He was waiting for her on the side while she was feeling the qi of another man. Yi Mo looked speechlessly at the pair. "Martial brother, he said he wants to try," the girl suddenly said. "What? You want to try?" The male cultivator had the same reaction. Yi Mo nodded. "Yes, but I think you should care more about your sister, not me." He knew that even if this male cultivator won over his martial sister, they wouldn't be happy unless he achieved something significant like Xiao Fei. The male cultivator clearly didn't heed his words but pulled his martial sister aside and smiled to Yemo. "You can try first, my martial sister can come back later." Yemo was Golden Core State Peak Stage, while he was only Golden Core State Level 3, and his martial sister only a Golden Core State Level 1. Clearly, he didn't dare to offend Yemo. After the two left, the girl showed a face of disgust. She was disgusted by Yemo because Yemo kicked her away, or perhaps because this insolent guy dared to copy Big Brother Xiao. The remaining cultivators didn't even notice Yemo, and Yemo hoped that would continue to be the case. Yemo stood before the trial tablet and scanned around with his spirit sense. Once he was sure that no one was hiding on the side, he felt assured. He didn't make any preparations and circulated his cultivation essence, soaring into the sky. He needed to leave his name as quickly as he could, and leave here quietly. Idiot. The girl saw that Yemo didn't even prepare and just jumped up. The male cultivator quickly pulled her arm. "Martial sister, that person is Golden Core State Peak Stage. Don't say that. What if he hears it?" The girl curled her lips. "What is he then?" "He's scared of being laughed at, so he comes at night and wears the clothes of a non-element. A genius like young Master Xiao is a pure metal element, and so he wears golden clothes." The male cultivator fell silent. He knew that he couldn't argue about anything when his martial sister brought up Xiao Fei, or he would be done for. Meanwhile, when Yemo dashed up, the cultivators on the square immediately looked over. They would never pass by the chance to watch someone trying. Although the cultivator only dared to try at night, this was still something to talk about. But no matter how late it was, his name would immediately be known. When Yemo flew up to 6 meters, he felt a powerful force that grew more intense the higher he rose. He finally realized why people could only reach a certain height. As he used more cultivation essence, he ascended even faster. When he was at 15 meters, he felt a powerful killing intent on top of the pressure, as though if he didn't go back down, he would be annihilated under the pressure. Chapter 10:21. Trial Tablet Blank Name. Chapter 10:21. Trial Tablet Blank. Named just then, Yemo realized the use of the trial tablet. It wasn't just a simple ranking. Any cultivator would have an enlightenment under such intense pressure and killing intent. This was beneficial to one's cultivation. At the same time, Yemo realized why so many cultivators gave up hope after feeling that terrifying killing intent. If they failed, it would indeed affect their mental state, but if they succeeded, it would be a huge inspiration. Subconsciously, Yemo started to emit his own power and killing intent. The pressure on him immediately eased up. Realizing this was the key, Yemo completely released his power. When Yemo reached above 18 meters, he felt the killing intent materialize again. In just an instant, he felt he was in an ancient battlefield. Countless spirit beasts, cultivators, and demons all roared at him. At this moment, Yemo didn't dare to hold back at all. He released Zisu, and the illusion cloud strikes. Under the purple sword rays, the spirit beasts, cultivators, and even demons were killed wave after wave. Yemo thought of the time he was at the herb plain and had killed countless earth scorpions. The bodies of spirit beasts piled up beneath him, and he stood taller and taller. Soon, Yemo felt that the spirit beasts grow less and less, and the area ahead opened up. Before he could take a breath, a level 6 mammoth charged over. A level 6 primary stage mammoth. Yemo took a step back. This was equal to nascent soul state level 1 power. Before the mammoth even got here, the powerful chi enveloped him, as though if he hesitated for a moment, he would immediately be devoured by the mammoth. Yemo quickly used purple eye soul sever along with illusion cloud 5th and 6 strikes with all his might. He felt a wave of weakness. Yemo's illusion cloud formation kill strike brought countless sword rays and formed an yin-yang dual kill formation. He knew that this kill formation wasn't able to do much to the mammoth, but it could stop the beast from devouring him. Sizzle Yi Mo felt his spirit sense attack work, and the illusion cloud formation kill strike tore the mammoth to pieces. Yi Mo breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't think this level 6 mammoth would be so easily killed by him. What was going on? Yi Mo knew that although his spirit sense attack and illusion cloud formation kill strike were powerful, they wouldn't be enough to kill the level 6 spirit beast. He didn't expect the combination of the two to have such power. Suddenly, he felt the pressure lighten, and he came to his senses. He was still at the trial tablet. What was going on? Yi Mo didn't understand. He saw Xiao Fei and others try. They seemed very casual and didn't even use their magic artifacts. Since when did they fight like him? What is he doing? The few onlookers looked dazedly at Yi Mo. 1 golden core state level. For hesitated before saying, he seemed to have released his magic artifact, and it cast some purple light, but was stopped by something. Why is he attacking? He's just supposed to write his name down. The first cultivator asked again. I don't know, but he seems to have surpassed 21 meters, another cultivator said. So, what if he surpassed 21 meters? Many people use burst pills and can reach near 21 meters, but they can't even leave their names down. At this moment, Yi Mo saw a milky, white empty tablet. He understood and murmured, So, you don't need to fly very high. You just need to leave your name. Thinking about this, Yi Mo didn't hesitate and wrote the name. Yi Mo, he saw Xiao Fei write his name. It had turned faint gold and immersed into the tablet. After he wrote his name, he waited for a while, but it still didn't immerse into the tablet. Did he fail? Thinking about this, Yi Mo felt even greater pressure. He just used his full-powered attack, and his spirit sense was weak. He couldn't stay up anymore, and could only fall down slowly. He's coming down. He wrote Yi Mo. Look for his name. What rank is he? Yi Mo also looked around nervously, but when he reached the last name, he still didn't see his name. How was this possible? Yi Mo looked up and down a few more times, but still didn't see his name. Ha ha. The people from the square laughed. I told you, what's the point of going very high? If just anyone could leave their names behind on the trial tablet, it wouldn't be called the trial tablet. Yi Mo's heart sunk. He was sure he wasn't weaker than Xiao Fei, but Xiao Fei was ranked 11th. Meanwhile, he didn't even get a ranking. Something must have happened because only he was attacked and encountered a level 6 mammoth. Those contemptuous remarks made Yi Mo feel awkward. If it was during the day, Yi Mo could imagine how embarrassing it would be. But Yi Mo was sure that it wasn't because he wasn't strong enough that he wasn't able to leave his name. Plus, the pressure had given him some enlightenments. Yi Mo didn't care much about the trial tablets to begin with, and so he immediately left. He needed to find a place to form his soul, and then go find Ning Qingxue. Ethereal Immortal Pond was an 8-star sect. Their management should be easier to contact than a 9-star sect. Perhaps he could see Qingxue. He couldn't stay here very long, but he could stay for 2 days to organize his thoughts. Just when Yi Mo wanted to go to a hotel, he saw 2 golden core state cultivators rush out of a hotel and get on their flying spirit artifacts, heading out of the city. Let's go to the North Gate, one of them said. Yi Mo thought that the 2 must somehow be related to the city guards. The city management was very strict, and people could only leave at certain times. Yi Mo usually wouldn't care about this, but he was being very careful now. If the 2 could leave now, he would follow them. With this in mind, he followed them carefully. Even if he had to reach nascent soul state and organize his thoughts, he didn't have to be in the city. With Yi Mo's stealth capabilities, the 2 golden core state cultivators didn't notice at all. Yi Mo followed the 2 to South Peace City's North Gate and found more than 10 golden core state cultivators and even 1 nascent soul state cultivator there. As soon as the 2 arrived, the city gate restriction was opened, and Yi Mo quickly followed them out. Mo didn't dare to go immediately as there were too many cultivators here. He hid carefully. How is it? The nascent soul state cultivator asked. Immediately, the two golden core state cultivators answered. We've calculated a 100-kilometer circle around the north gate of all the hotels and recently renting cultivators. We're sure we didn't miss any. Mo thought that Fu Rong had this much power. He could command this many golden core state and even nascent soul state cultivators. It seemed the Bay three demons had taken action. Luckily, he didn't go find a hotel, or he would have been blocked at the door. Okay, the city has 6 exits right now. We're guarding the north gate. I don't want any problems to occur at our gate. Even if an ant leaves now, we need to know. Tomorrow, our lightning cloud sect elders will come. No matter who he is, his soul will be sucked out and burned for daring to kill our core disciple, the nascent soul state cultivator said coldly. Marshal Uncle Lee, don't worry, he is our mortal enemy. If he dares to come here, he will never be able to leave. The golden core state peak stage cultivator that Mo had followed said with killing intent. The nascent soul state cultivator nodded. Okay, that guy is no simple character. Be careful. Elder Tian will be here tomorrow morning at the latest. This guy ambushed Alfing at the Heartless Sea. If he wants to leave, he has to go past South Peace City, so you don't have to worry that he won't come. Mo just realized it was about that Tian Alfing he had killed. He was from a 9-star sect. If he wasn't careful, he wouldn't even know how he died tomorrow. Chapter 10:22. Missing a Name. Chapter 10:22. Missing a name. He was really unlucky. He hadn't even found Qingxue yet, but he had already offended the Bay 3 demons and a 9-star sect. Luckily, he had just left the city, or else he would have nowhere to hide when the elders of the sect arrived. Mo had faith in his stealth means, but he didn't dare to say if they would stand up to the 9-star sect elders. They were at least body condensation state or cauldron-filling state power. Luckily, his name once left behind on the trial tablet, or there would be no way they wouldn't pay attention to him. But Mo couldn't really blame himself, who knew that this guy had such a powerful origin. Just for him, the sect was even daring to lock down South Peace City. Mo calmed down now. The sect was sure that he was going to come to the city, and in fact he had. He saw the sign that the cultivators aboard the ship were being compensated in spirit stones, and had guessed that they might all be set up by the Lightning Cloud sect. Luckily, he was careful and threw all of Tian Alfing's things into the Golden Page world. Even the nascent soul state cultivators didn't notice Mo, much less the Golden Core state cultivators. An hour later, Mo left the city gate quietly and got on his flying ship, leaving as fast as he could. By the time it was daylight, Mo didn't even know how far he had traveled, but his speed hadn't decreased at all, and the supply of top-grade spirit stones powering his artifact never stopped. He even used his cultivation essence lavishly to make the ship go faster. He would have used extreme-grade spirit stones, if not for the fear that the ship wouldn't be able to handle it. The difference between the 9-star sect, Lightning Cloud sect, and the Ghost Immortal sect was huge. The highest power of the Ghost Immortal sect was only a hollow spirit state cultivator, and Mo believed he had a way to get around hollow spirit state cultivators. 9-star sects had truth realization state cultivators, though, against whom he didn't have any confidence at all. So the only choice he had was to run. Due to Xiao Fei's name, South Peace City was even busier than usual the next day. The people also wanted to see Fang Zhongshi's reaction. They were both 9-star sect core disciples and wouldn't be satisfied losing out to the other. Many people guessed that Fang Zhongshi would come to try again, so they rushed to the trial tablet square. People discussed in so much detail that even which direction Xiao Fei's hair was floating to was mentioned. You don't know that after Xiao Fei tried, 2 more people tried and lost face. But that night, another person came to try, one golden core state cultivator from last night said. There are too many people who don't know their own strength. Without saying, I know those 3 didn't leave any marks. Of course, that cultivator was called Yi something. I remember him the most because he was too funny. He didn't leave his name, but he made a big scene. Yes, he even took out his magic artifact. It was the first time I've seen someone use their magic artifact at the trial tablet. What a joke. Another cultivator said. Ha ha. You said he took out his magic artifact at the trial tablet, a cold voice suddenly asked. They just noticed that it was a young nun standing not far away. Her hair was coiled behind her head, but she didn't have a whisk. Her snow-white skin and her snow-white Dao uniform accompanied with her extreme beauty made her seem like she didn't belong in the mortal world. It's Ling Xiaoshuang, Dao name Qing Shuang. Someone immediately recognized her. I know, Serene Dream Mosque, South Peace State's number 2 beauty. The cultivator stopped halfway, realizing his words were a bit offensive. But everyone realized who this extremely beautiful young nun was. She clearly came here for only one thing. She was about to reach nascent soul state, or else she wouldn't be here. Many people would come for the trial before they ascended to nascent soul state in order to gain enlightenment. People subconsciously started talking quieter. Many people's hearts skipped faster, as though feeling honored that they could be so close to her. However, no one answered her question. Ling Xiaoshuang frowned and asked who said that a cultivator took out his magic artifact at the trial tablet. Her master had told her that those cultivators who took out their magic artifacts at the trial tablets were indescribable geniuses. Since the ancient times, there was only one nascent soul state cultivator who used his magic artifact at the nascent soul state trial tablet tens of thousands of years ago. When that cultivator reached nascent soul state tertiary stage, he killed a hollow spirit state cultivator. That wasn't all. Within 100 years, he reached truth realization state peak stage. However, for some reason, he wasn't accepted by the immortal Tao and was not allowed to ascend to the immortal realm. In his fury, he shattered the void, smashed open the barrier of Luo Yu continent, and left. Her master said that the earlier that the cultivator used a magic artifact on a trial tablet, the more genius they were. If what this cultivator said was real, someone used a magic artifact on the golden core state trial tablet. That person would be absurd. He was more powerful than that nascent soul state cultivator from tens of thousands of years ago, so she had to know who it was. That golden core state cultivator was pushed out by his friends and stood out, saying excitedly, "It's me, I saw him. Marshal Sister Ling, tell me." Ling Xiaoshuang nodded. The cultivator saw that Ling Xiaoshuang used a polite tone and felt as if he just fell into a soothing spring. His voice even changed a little. Midnight last night, a cultivator came to the trial tablet. I think he was scared of being laughed at, and that's why he chose nighttime. Ling Xiaoshuang frowned and said, "No need to mention that. Tell me about the process." Yes, when that cultivator reached 18 meters and almost 21 meters, he suddenly took out a purple magic artifact and stopped at 21 meters. He used his magic artifact to attack for a while, before going higher than 21 meters. He then marked his name. He's called. The cultivator paused to think of Yi Mo's name. He's called Yi Mo, a cultivator next to him said. But his name wasn't left on the trial tablet. I think he used some pills. It's said that Feng Honest Tan Hua pill has such effects. Ling Xiaoshuang gasped. She didn't expect there would really be someone who would use a magic artifact at the trial tablet. But why wasn't his name left behind? This wasn't right. Her master said that the nascent soul state cultivator tens of millenniums ago left his name behind. But his name was ranked first. First, Ling Xiaoshuang looked up on the tablet. The name was familiar. It had been there for 200 years, and wasn't Yi Mo seeing this? Many cultivators subconsciously looked at the tablet. Wait, how come I feel there's one less name on the tablet? One cultivator exclaimed. It's true. One name's missing. There are only 299 names, not 300. Someone else exclaimed. Chapter 10:23. Soar into existence. Chapter 10:23. Soar into existence. 299 names indeed. Ling Xiaoshuang murmured to herself. Actually, the top of the trial tablet seemed to have an extra white jade tablet, but it was empty, without inlay markings. It floated above the golden core state trial tablet. Soar into existence. Ling Xiaoshuang almost blurted out. She was sure that Yi Mo's name was on that white jade tablet, and that he was the golden core state trial tablet number 1, but his name once shown due to some other reason. Ling Xiaoshuang knew that not even 9-star sect disciples would know what it meant to soar into existence. It wasn't just showing a tablet above the golden core state trial tablet and becoming number 1 on the trial tablet. It meant that the big change and disaster of the cultivation realm was impending. The golden core state trial tablet protected the person who soared into existence and wouldn't show his name, showing an empty tablet instead. Only when that person could protect himself would his name be shown on the tablet. Ling Xiaoshuang didn't know why her master knew about this, but she knew not many others were aware of this. It was simple if she wanted to find out whether Yi Mo was that person who had soared into existence. If someone tried and successfully got onto the tablet, then 300 names would appear. However, the trial tablet would automatically remove the last person. The name on the soar into existence jade tablet would appear there forever. No matter how powerful people from the future generation were, they wouldn't be able to surpass the name on soar into existence. The tablets had been derelict on the square for countless years. All the people knew that the first name would exist there forever. But in the countless years, only the first name of the nascent soul state cultivator tablet had been marked for eternity. That nascent soul state cultivator, named Chu Jiu, who used magic artifacts at the trial, had his name kept at first forever. But Chu Jiu didn't try any other trial tablets. Even a powerful figure like Chu Jiu was unable to have his name written on the soar into existence white jade tablet, meaning that he could be surpassed in the future. Yi Mo might be the one who would surpass him. Who was he? What sort of fortune did he get to reach such a height? Ling Xiaoshuang walked to the golden core state trial tablet. She wanted to try to mark her name, and also to test if Yi Mo was that soar into existence person. She didn't like to show off, and didn't even go to the Golden Core State Hall of Fame, but her master told her to try the Golden Core State trial tablet before forming her nascent soul, as it would benefit her greatly. Because of this, she came, but she knew if she failed, she would be ridiculed. However, she didn't care about that. Ling Xiaoshuang is going for the trial. Ling Xiaoshuang isn't someone in the Golden Core State Hall of Fame. The trial tablet has nothing to do with looks. Shut up. Do you not want to live? How dare you speak of her that way? Seeing Ling Xiaoshuang come to the trial tablet, everyone was excited. Ling Xiaoshuang wore a snow-white dress and stood before the Golden Core State trial tablet like a beautiful, vibrant lily. But before they could appreciate this beauty, she had soared up into the sky. When that powerful pressure arrived, Ling Xiaoshuang felt that killing intent. She finally understood why her master told her to come. This was indeed beneficial to her cultivation. When she reached a height of 21 meters, she couldn't go forward anymore. She knew she had reached her limit. She was disappointed, but knew this was to be expected. The next moment, she wrote her name, Ling Xiaoshuang. The words turned into a pale white ray and shot into the tablet. Ling Xiaoshuang is ranked 23rd on the Golden Core State trial tablet. People immediately spread her rank. Ling Xiaoshuang, who wasn't in the Golden Core State Hall of Fame, managed to rank 23 on the Golden Core State Trial Tablet, meaning that the number of people who could surpass her was only 23. This was already a very good rank. Ling Xiaoshuang stood below the tablet and looked at her name. She didn't leave immediately and scan the tablet. It had returned to 300 names. Yi Emo really was that soar into existence person. His name was beyond what this tablet could hold, and only appeared on that white jade tablet. She had to tell her master this news as soon as possible. Ling Xiaoshuang immediately left, but discussion about her heated up and even surpassed Xiao Fei, who said that one name was missing on the tablet. I counted again. It's 300. Someone immediately noticed the change. It really is 300. What happened before? But all the discussion immediately stopped as the cultivators at the square suddenly donned a fearful expression. An extremely powerful spirit sense swept over the square and didn't leave. It swept back again. Then 2 more powerful spirit senses swept over. All the cultivators at the square were cleanly swept. Those spirit senses had a powerful and angry killing intent. They were obviously belonging to cauldron-filling state cultivators, and above, no one dared to speak at all under such powerful spirit senses. Then, an extremely cold voice sounded in all the ears of the South Peace City cultivators. Lightning Cloud Sect's core, disciple Tian Alphen was harmed at the Heartless Sea. The culprit must be at South Peace City. The cultivator who can provide information about this cultivator can get a Chao Huan pill if they're Golden Core State, Hollow Meridian pill if they're Nascent Soul State, and so forth, and will also be protected by the Lightning Cloud Sect. If anyone helps this person escape, he will become the enemy of the Lightning Cloud Sect, a truth realization state cultivator. Everyone knew that to be able to send his voice through the entire city, it was a truth realization state for sure. What shook people even more was that the core disciple Tian Alfing had been killed. Who had the balls to do such a thing? He was ranked below Fang Zhongshe, but he showed signs of potentially surpassing him. The city lord of South Peace City could only send people to investigate the cultivators and didn't dare to complain at all. In the city lord estate, a few body condensation state cultivators and above were gathered. The city lord estate had become the temporary gathering place for the Lightning Cloud Sect. On the ship, Alfing sliced off a solo cultivator's arm, and a Golden Core State Level 9 came out to help that cultivator. I think with Alfing's personality, even after the sea monster incident, he wouldn't let go of that Golden Core State cultivator. He probably chased after him, one body condensation state said. The cultivator sitting at the top was someone whose age couldn't be discerned. Even the cauldron-filling state cultivators below were very respectful to him. That cultivator said, "Recount the situation precisely." And was that cultivator who had his arm cut off found? Yes, the body condensation state answered. When that Golden Core State Level 9 had just walked to the deck, the arm Alfing sliced off fell in front of that cultivator. Alfing told that cultivator to pick it up and give it to him, but that Golden Core State Level 9 picked the arm up and attached it for the cultivator. Then, that broken arm cultivator disappeared when the spirit beasts attacked. He was probably eaten. Would Alfing also be because of the spirit beast one cauldron-filling state asked? He was interrupted by that elder Tian. Impossible! That spirit beast didn't target Alfing at the time, and Alfing had great world transmission rune. He could escape whenever he wanted. Alfing was definitely killed by a cultivator. Chapter 1024, Yi Mo's Divine Damnation. Chapter 1024, Yi Mo's Divine Damnation, Elder Tian. Alfing might have been only Golden Core State Level 8, but there's hardly any Golden Core State Level 9 who could have killed him in South Peace State and prevented him from escaping, another cauldron-filling state cultivator said. Elder Tian sneered and was about to argue but the cultivator sitting at the top waved his hand and stopped them. He thought for a while before asking, "What's that Golden Core State Level 9 cultivator called?" "I've searched the records of Mo High City. That cultivator is called Mo Ing and is a solo cultivator. A body condensation state cultivator answered. Mo Ing, the top cultivator repeated. "Regardless if this name is real or fake, investigate this guy first." Mo Ing. Ling Xiaoshuang heard that the cultivator who killed Tian Alfing was called Mo Ing and immediately felt something wasn't right. There was no way that a core disciple of Nine Star Sect didn't have means to escape. Meanwhile, a Golden Core State Level 9 cultivator was able to kill Tian Alfing and make him unable to run. Clearly, this Golden Core State Level 9 was no ordinary person. Even Xiao Fei wouldn't be able to kill Tian Alfing easily, much less stop him from running away. Now, the name of the cultivator who killed Tian Alfing was pretty obvious. It was that Mo Ing was his alias. Ling Xiaoshuang suddenly began to worry. She wasn't sure if Lightning Cloud Sect would think of the Golden Core State trial tablet. Her master said there were only a few who knew about the soar into existence, but Lightning Cloud Sect was also a 9-star sect. Would they not know about it? Luckily, she had filled up the tablet names. Thinking about this, Ling Xiaoshuang felt she should go back to her sect as quickly as possible. This was the 6th day, and Mo was still running. If the Lightning Cloud Sect knew he killed Tian Alfing, it would be useless even if he fled to North Far State. Instead, he would bring disaster to Song Yangzhu and others there. Thinking about this, Mo thought of Luo Ing and Ning Qingxue. Would they be affected too? Even if they weren't, would they not do anything if they knew he was in the hands of the Lightning Cloud Sect? Ning Qingxue was at an 8-star sect. If the Lightning Cloud Sect knew about his relations to Ning Qingxue and made ethereal immortal pawn hand over Ning Qingxue, they wouldn't dare to resist at all. Susu's sect was a 9-star sect, but apparently it had declined quite a lot. It was even worse off than some 8-star sections. Thinking about this, Mo shivered. He became more worried. The only way out was to not expose his tracks. He immediately gave up on the thought of finding Ning Qingxue and Luo Ing. He didn't dare to let anyone know that he was related to them. Power. I need power. Mo cursed. He needed to find a place to reach nascent soul state, and even higher. If he wanted to take on a 9-star sect, Lightning Cloud Sect, he had to be at least disaster transformation state. Lightning Cloud Sect had truth realization state cultivators. 2 months later, in a very subtle valley in South Peace State, Mo set up a huge spirit gathering formation and then another stealth formation outside it. He was planning on breaking through to nascent soul state. This place was very far from South Peace City. Mo was sure that even truth realization state cultivators wouldn't be able to find it. Plus, this place was arid in spirit chi, and although worthless, was the perfect place for Mo to reach nascent soul state. Usually, people would find a place with lots of spirit chi to break through, but Mo had a lot of spirit stones and even took out spirit crystals. He had to reach nascent soul state as quickly as possible, or it would garner attention. If it weren't for the fact that the Golden Page World's laws were incomplete, Mo would rather break through in there. Other than the spirit range that he didn't dare to take out, Mo had prepared almost everything. This place was arid in spirit chi, but still much better than North Far State. Plus, Mo used top-grade spirit stones to stack up his spirit gathering formation. With this spirit chi density, it was already enough for him to break through. Mo was Golden Core State Peak Stage and was fully prepared. He ate Chow Huan pills and started using 3-birth chant. The spirit chi around immediately rushed into his body like crazy. Mo calmed down and focused on devouring spirit chi to form his nascent soul. If someone else was here, they would find that the spirit chi around Mo was almost solid. The 10 million top-grade spirit stones he took out all had their spirit chi sucked out. Yi Mo felt his power increase drastically and cultivation essence growing increasingly stronger, almost materializing. His golden core spun faster than ever before. At the same time, Yi Mo felt his meridians have a tearing sense of pain. It was as though he would explode the very next moment. At this moment, his golden core slowed down and cracked. The core was cracked. Yi Mo knew this was the most dangerous moment. Many cultivators failed here. Yi Mo wanted to protect his golden core with his cultivation essence, but suddenly there was a loud rumble in the sky. The clear sky was covered with clouds. The rumbling noise came from above the clouds. How was the divine damnation here so quickly? Yi Mo felt it was odd. He saw Li Yuqian break through. It was no way near as fast. Then, lightning the size of a baby's arm shot down towards him, closely followed by 9 more bolts of the same size. They all fell towards Yi Mo. Yi Mo was shaken. Although he had a lightning spirit root and could devour lightning sources, he couldn't devour such a terrifying divine damnation in such a short time. Even though he was using the 3-birth chant to the maximum, he was still burnt. His meridians cracked under the lightning but were repaired again with the use of 3-birth chant. The lightning struck down nonstop, and after the first 9 bolts, Yi Mo was covered in wounds. If he didn't have a half-Dao artifact protecting him, he might have been heavily injured with just the first wave. He felt his power increase another fold, but he didn't feel joy at all. This was only the first wave. He still had 3 more waves, 27 bolts in total. How could he take such a level of divine damnation? Yi Mo couldn't care about his golden core anymore. He quickly took out formation flags and started setting up formations. He thought he could devour lightning source and didn't take divine damnation seriously, but now it seemed he was very wrong. Before the second wave came, he had to think of a way. He didn't have any better methods besides using formations. Luckily, he created a lightning storage formation after the lightning attraction formation. He needed a lightning storage formation. Yi Mo threw out tens of formation flags. Rumble Yi Mo had just set up a foundation when the second wave came. It was another 9 bolts of lightning of the same size, but they came 3 at a time. Before Yi Mo could completely digest the first 3, the next 3 fell. When all 9 fell, Yi Mo's wounds that had just recovered a little got worse. Yi Mo calmed down the more he used 3-birth chant. He felt his power increase even more. This lightning injury was much better than eating the first batch of Heaven Glory pills. When the third wave came, Yi Mo finally breathed easy. His lightning storage formation was complete. 5 bolts came down first and were directed into the lightning storage formation. Then 4 more landed and were devoured by Yi Mo. By now, the lightning only strengthened his body and didn't do any damage to him. Before the 4th wave came, Yi Mo was already digesting the lightning in the storage formation. Yi Mo felt the pure lightning spirit power and felt happy. This was a good method. He didn't waste a single bit of the power, and instead used it to strengthen his body. You're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.